Selamat Raya minasan.
Selamat Hari Raya.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is the first, I think, stream following Raya lah from even BuzzPop. So we as anime division were kicking it off. So selamat datang dan selamat Raya diucapkan untuk anda yang mengikuti sesi ini secara langsung dan juga anda yang menonton setelah live stream ini berakhir ke sesi kolaborasi STOMACHOFCHAOS.com bersama laman pop culture sekeramai BuzzPopTV. Seperti biasa saya Kudomari itu dari laman blog STOMACHOFCHAOS.com bersama para panel BuzzPop akan memberi reaksi dan ulasan filem SUZUME no Tojimari atau in the international release is called SUZUME. Apa yang baru saja ditayangkan di luar Jepun. I think they started this in April and masa saya prepare untuk ni ingatkan hari tu dia orang nak habis malam, tapi tadi tengok on the GSC punya list they are still showing it, but very limited though, one show a day in selected GSC cinemas.
Sabah dah tak ada.
Some KL, some Selangor, I think kat Johor ada lagi kot. Tapi it's not too late, tapi it's too late to watch it on IMAX. Saya sendiri pun miss tengok IMAX because
same.
Hari tu
I watched it on IMAX in Mid Valley.
Nice.
Yeah. It was like legit.
Anyway, tu seperti betul SUZUME no Tojimari seperti anda ketahui diarah oleh pengarah anime terkenal Shinkai Makoto. Dan juga nak tambahan kepada anda yang menonton sesi ini setelah live stream ini berakhir, silalah langgan pada laman YouTube SOC dan BuzzPopTV supaya anda tidak ketinggalan untuk menonton live stream kami yang akan datang. Dan juga jangan lupa tenyeh butang like. Untuk maklum anda yang belum pernah mengikuti sesi ulasan kami, unlike my video hari tu yang balik dari panggung tu, yang ni ada spoiler. Nak spoiler, tengok video 5 minit saya tu dan datang balik, tengok yang tu dulu, datang balik ke sini. I mean on a later date. Tapi anyway, so untuk bersama saya malam ni adalah Myra from The Grey Lines Between. How are you?
I'm feeling great. Selamat Hari Raya you guys, siapa-siapa yang tengah tuning in. I'm already seeing my friends dah message dah bila nak start. I'm like, we have to apologize for the delay.
Yeah, no worries. It's all our fault. No, kidding. Yeah. Dan juga daripada screen by Facebook, we have Nazir Khan.
Hi, hello. Hi, selamat Raya.
Selamat Raya juga.
Hi Mira, so hope everyone yang tengok selamat Raya, so selamat Raya to you guys as well. Tahu orang Malaysia cuti panjang sampai next week, which is awesome. So keep it up.
Budak sekolah especially.
Sekolah enjoy kot.
Itulah.
And also
anyway,
Mira, I
sorry.
think this is the first time I'm meeting you, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I've actually watched the previous punya video on what do we call it? You guys like Demon Slayer. Yeah, I'm actually sad that I missed that live because I'm like, I have so much to comment down, and I'm like, dang it! I was like,
hey,
yeah, but
if
I
you
was
want
not
to
available.
join as a panelist by more, you are more than welcome. Just drop us a line and we'll add.
Yeah, but I'm very selective of what I'm watching though. I'm like, I only watch like shonen.
I see. Tak. Kalau you nak join the Demon Slayer chat, that's what I meant.
Can.
Anyway,
in term of content wise also, kita also being selective. Kita adalah tengok every isekai but you know yang benda yang good, yang being tailored based on the our preferences, okay, being suggest. Kalau okay, we go. If not,
I see.
we will skip to the next session. Next
Session.
season session ke apa?
Season,
Next season. Naruhodo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
sebenarnya kami ada panelis keempat, but you can't see him yet. So
Invisible.
Jamal Raslan will be joining us in a bit. So anyway, kita nak mula dengan what is it call it? Kita akan kilas pandang lah towards the director. Actually in the West orang panggil dia Makoto Shinkai. Saya ni kan weeb, suka nak ikut betul-betul, nak pakai surname, family name first, dan give a name later.
Yeah, well,
so,
actually in here also, if I'm not mistaken, when your name and whether with you being bawa masuk by our local distributor, diorang memang westernizekan the name Makoto Shinkai.
Nak senangkan saja. I mean the Japanese are they are cognizant of the fact that the naming system is different and it's basically anyway. So sebagai pengenalan kepada siapa our director or kantoku sama Shinkai Makoto. So Shinkai Makoto beliau merupakan pengarah anime agak tersohor in his generation of middle age because he's about 50 years old. The reason I'm saying he's 50. There's another person about his age juga, Hosoda Mamoru. Siapa yang menonton Hosoda Mamoru's written films like Mirai, Belle,
Belle.
The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. So that's pretty much that's orang-orang seangkat. He's a bit older lah. He's 55, but basically ini kira pelapis to the older generation like Miyazaki Hayao ke the mendiang Takahata Isao yang buat Grave of the Firefly tu kan. Oshii Mamoru yang buat Ghost in the Shell, Pahit Lebo, siapa lagi yang geng-geng. Anno Hideaki Anno, I'm famous for Evangelion obviously. So
aku geram Anno.
I was just introduced to Evangelion by the way, but I'm like
good luck with that, Mira. Good luck.
So because banyak anime director orang tak kenal sebenarnya, because kalau yang TV ni unless you are a real geek of Sakuga and how people
like
make anime,
following works of certain directors.
So for example, if you ask me now siapa director Demon Slayer, I'll go like
I also
you faham tak?
We follow studio right now. I feel like that's trendy.
Senang sikit nak follow studio. So anyway, Shinkai Makoto pengarah umur 50 tahun ini berasal dari Nagano Prefecture from a city called Komi. Dia graduate from a university in Tokyo called Chuo University dalam bidang kesusastraan Jepun. Minat beliau dalam bidang penciptaan anime dan manga bermula dari sekolah menengah rendah, and at that time anime kesukaan beliau termasuk End of Evangelion, Oshii Mamoru's Pet Labor 2, Hayao Miyazaki, Nausicaa, Laputa. I mean, pretty much the names that I mentioned just now was in his list lah masa dia dekat middle school. So dia mula berkecimpung dalam bidang penulisan sebagai seorang ahli kelab sastra sewaktu dekat Chuo Daigake. So kejayaan beliau bermula sebagai pembikin video dan reka bentuk grafik sebuah syarikat mainan video. And 3 years later, Shinkai menghasilkan sebuah anime pendek black and white 5 minit guna Adobe Premiere ke tak salah saya. Title nama Kanojo no Neko, She and Her Cat. I think you can watch it on I think you can watch it on YouTube. At first I thought it was the one yang orang pijak ekor kucing tu, tapi yang tu color. It's a different one. It's in black and white. So anyway, She and Her Cat disusuli his other works like Hoshi no Koi or Voices of a Distant Star, sebuah OVA, dan Kumo no Muko Yakusoku no Basho, the place promised in our early days. That one, Kumo no Muko ni film pertama dia, and that was in 2004. So pretty much the start
macam
of
major lah.
Yeah, his proper feature film. Proper feature film. So pretty much these two works, OVA dengan film ni, the beginning of his affiliation dengan studio Comics Wave. Comics Wave Incorporated, as you can see kan at the beginning of so dia tak pernah dengan orang lain lah. So to date he's done 6 more films after that, termasuk Suzume ni, di mana kesemuanya termasuk dalam 10 filem Jepun, 10 filem teratas di Jepun di waktu this film were released. Filem tau, bukan anime. Filem. His works actually getting these accolades or positions in the rankings with live action film. So currently Kimi no Nawa, Your Name, di tangga ketiga, Suzume di tangga keempat, dan yang at the moment kita nampak ni Weathering with You dan Kinoko tangga ke-19 in the highest grossing Japanese film worldwide of all time.
Gila.
So, you know, I'm gonna ask a few questions. With just don't have to know everything, but it's a general question. So the first question is, what is your personal experience with Shinkai style themes? Personal experience with Shinkai's work. What's this? Okay. Anyway. So sorry about it. Macam tak pernah buat stream pula. Anyway, sorry. What's your personal experience with Shinkai's punya work? And have you any views on cara tema yang digunakan dalam filem-filem yang anda pernah tengok, atau juga style atau gaya presentation dia? So sorry, Nazir, I'm going to start with you. So apa kau dah tengok apa?
Okay, technically this is my third streak of Makoto Shinkai punya cinema run. Start from 2016 with the Your Name, 2020 sebab dia masuk lambat kat Malaysia kan. Tenkinoko, and right now Suzume to the Doraemon door. Okay.
Sekejap je. Kau kata memang betul 2016, tapi kan apa pasal aku rasa macam BuzzPop cakap pasal Your Name macam baru je Was there like a second release of Your Name in Malaysia or something? Okay,
disebabkan due to the Netflix baru bawa masuk Your Name dekat Netflix Malaysia.
So they were talking about lepas tengok kat Netflix.
So actually ini before kau join us tau, Kudo. Basically
I watched the discussion, but I wasn't part of BuzzPop yet. I watched it. So, on Sunday.
So macam before Netflix bawa masuk, one of the panelists of Kai Comic Duan did talk about this one. Dia cakap, Nick, bila kita nak bawa masuk? So due to the limitation of viewing sources, so kita orang we not speaking about that until until when the Your Name hype being brought up again in the local Netflix, then dua cakap okay, kita pun dah ada one legal sources to watch, then we just go for it.
I think sebab BuzzPop dia ni memang nak kalau boleh tengok in legitimate.
That's right. Kita kalau boleh memang tolak illegal way jauh-jauh lah. Memang kalau boleh we want to go.
Kalau boleh, yes, of course.
If can, we go a legal way. Fun fact, Tenkinoko you guys can watch in Amazon Prime. Aku tak tahu kenapa, tapi
suddenly I recently watched it on Prime too.
I was like, Amazon Prime tu. Betul, this is rare. Very like, macam sangat random tau.
Yes.
So Your Name is still on the Netflix, and for now, for the Suzume on
Kita tunggulah. Tanggung.
I think after kita run, baru masuk ke Crunchyroll, most probably.
Yes. Betul.
Sorry, so this is my third run on cinema. Sebab aku tak tengok previous punya Makoto Shinkai punya cerita tau. I mean aku punya like Grandoy punya expose was be Your Name. Really that capture my heart actually. So bila aku dah hook, of course you want to see more from him. And fun fact, this is for the first time ever JSC get the contract with the Encore Film, our local distributor, to release Suzume exclusively on JSC only. For the past 2 movie, only TGV yang dapat the right actually.
Oh ya ke?
Ya, aku macam amazed gila, macam wow, this is new. And also, I'm not sure whether video dapat apa-apa merch ke tak, but during Your Name punya release, TGV akan bagi kau postcard tau. The postcard okay. It's very cool actually. It's very cool. I think I still keep it, but aku keep it dengan buku novel Being Your Name bahasa Melayu by Gempas Tas, but now bagi pinjam paper tak pernah hilang kan.
Yeah, I have it in UK just to tengok for fun.
I bought the novels too, but it's in Malay, so I'm like, I thought I was in English. That was awkward.
During that time, Gempas Tas bawa masuk manga and novel. Masa tu tengah Comic Fiesta. So mungkin lah. Sorry, what was your second question?
The second question was what as you said, you enjoyed Kimi no Na wa like crazy, and anyway, in general, with your experience of watching all the 3 films, have you got any comments on the way that Shinkai presented the story, or presented how the style of the film, is it appealing to you, or what are your comments about the
okay. Aku ringkaskan sebab aku sembang, aku rasa 3-4 jam jadi. Aku ringkaskan lah. For Kimi no Na wa, aku suka dia pakai konsep mata yang berkata bila mulut terkunci. That's the very
wah, gila. Kodik.
Alright.
Is that how your wife fallen in love with you? Is it you?
Mengayat ke ni?
Wah, ini dalam stream pun aku macam kena ayat.
Ke yang ni dah filtered down dah ni.
I'm kidding. Go.
A very short term lah, sebab recently my wife also watched the series, the movie again. So I pun tengok sekali lah. So you know just the essence of the movie itself. And for the video, for me the impact is not as strong as the first movie, but still you feel like I mean like basically the guy say, screw the weather, I want to be with you. Basically this is what the guy say.
Yes.
For the video pun, I'm not saying much, tapi I love how the minor character also have a moment to shine actually. Although it's a bit rush compared to the first movie, but still have keep this charm. And I was thinking to watch again later in Amazon Prime lah. Sebab to be honest, the video aku tengok sekali kat wayang, and that's it.
Aku pun. But I actually have the Blu-ray. But I want to watch Suzume again. But I want to watch it on IMAX.
I can't wait to buy something like for Suzume tau. Like want to rewatch it for the 100 times maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, why don't we hear from you, Myra? Your thoughts on apa pengalaman anda tentang hasil kerja Shinkai Kantoku, dan juga what are your thoughts on his work? Silakan.
So when it comes to Makoto Shinkai's works, I'm gonna admit that like I think I've mentioned this before we start, that I have not watched any of his works before Kimi no Na wa. So I did not watch, like I only started frequently watched anime ever since pandemic hits. And then so I was kind of like, when pandemic hits, I was kind of like lost in so many things at the moment. So my best friend told me that I feel like I want you to watch something that maybe can help you to process things that happening at the time. So he sent me Kimi no Na wa Blu-ray. So I watched it, and then it was like that movie kind of like gives me, I was in total like rabak gila nangis. I was like in shock. I'm like, how is this an anime? And how is this an animation? How is this like, because at the time I'm still like thinking anime is equals to cartoon yang macam dia tak complex when it comes to emotion and then I, for the first time I was like
macam Dragon Ball
Why?
I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
Wrong. What I meant was Doraemon. Aku nak kata Doraemon.
Okay.
Never touch Dragon Ball.
So yeah,
Aku tak kata One Piece anyway.
Hey, One Piece is the god, okay? One Piece better than Naruto.
Good. Okay. Yes.
So to me, Kimi no Na wa is a legit 11 out of 10 kind of material. So when it comes to enjoying movie, I'm not, when people perceive me kan, they mesti cakap yang kau mesti suka tengok ni, kau like they always put me in a box where I came out as a hopeless romantic tau. Padahal I tengok shonen, I tengok action movie, I hafal Transformer, I hafal John Wick, you know, there's this kind of movie. So and then
by the way, Naze, I think she loves One Piece too, so you guys can gang.
Oh, I haven't started on One Piece yet. Baru berapa episode?
I thought the way you were talking, you were a fan.
Go and watch. Netflix.
I will.
Okay. Sorry.
So to me, Kimi no Na wa is the benchmark of everything that I watch after I watched that movie lah kiranya. So I think I've watched Kimi no Na wa for, I don't know, every time when I'm sad, when I'm happy, when I'm stressed, I will watch that. It's like a comfort movie to me. And then the reason also why is because I like, on a personal level, that I have this thing that I need a closure. But I think that movie really helps me to process my emotion. Like, yeah, so there's a it's very personal to me lah. So from that also, the friend who introduced me to this whole universe of Makoto Shinkai, dia pun cakap tau, dia kata, because I watched Kimi no Na wa in 2020. So and then he also introduced Weathering with You. But Weathering with You, I have not watched Weathering with You up until they show up dekat again Amazon Prime. So yeah. So I was like, so I watched it and baru-baru ni pun tengok juga. And then I realized that I think I'm gonna agree with on that note that it's a bit rushed. And I kind of agree with some people on my anime list punya forum yang cakap it's a bit repetitive. Tapi it's just mungkin sebab orang yang cakap tu dia whole high expectation, like, you know, Miley Cyrus coming up with Wrecking Ball, and then they're expecting something like similar to The Flowers. It's this kind of thing. So mungkin dia expect too high, like, you know, hoping Weathering with You is gonna like Kimi no Na wa punya hype. Tapi for me kan, I feel like Weathering with You is still holds up. Dia macam,
it's not a bad movie. Not a bad movie.
So ada orang macam rasa dia macam on a very, macam yang on shallow punya macam kind of like view, mungkin akan cakap yang it's a repetitive. For me, like, if you really watch that movie, no. Macam ada orang post meme tau, dia kata macam dalam Kimi no Na wa separated by time, dalam ni separated by distance kan, and then ni separated by Weathering with You separated by
time.
Weather. So kan, so macam the theme like laid down in his works, it's very somehow alien but somehow relatable. I don't know, do you guys get this? Like
I get it.
yeah, right. So it's the concept, like, you wouldn't relate to it, but like on very inner level, like to your close to your like spiritual ke apa ke, like how is that, like it's actually you can true, yeah, it really helps you to process a lot of things in life in general. So it's very close to me. And then the fact that I became a bigger fan of Radwim's, like also through his movies, through his works, and I started to have this like I perasan masa tengok Demon Slayer, especially yang second season, bila certain music macam background music they shut off kan, I'm like I macam, then I learned that my friend told me that he mentioned to me, because he is very observative punya person kan, dia cakap tau, kau dah start tengok movie tu, you go with the flow of the music, because that's Makoto Shinkai effect on you. I'm like, what? That's a revelation. I'm like, unknowingly, unconsciously, I'm like, why is it so important for the music to be like this? And he was like, yeah, that's what Makoto Shinkai does to you. So I'm like,
fun fact, fun fact, for the Your Name, Makoto Shinkai worked extremely closely dengan Radwim actually. So that's why the music influence how the movement of the story.
True.
And this thing, kalau if you perasan Mira, you not find it in When I Live With You and in Suzume. Because I think because the vocal soundtrack yang bagi peranan, kalau you compare dengan background orchestra, and also talking about the theme, actually I agree with you, because time travel and body switching combination are really like, kita tengok macam it's really off-putting, but somehow Makoto Shinkai able to nail to combine this both theme very fluently.
True. As if that he's asking audience to, why don't you put yourself in the other person punya shoes now?
And this time he's doing it literally.
Yes, literally. Yeah, true. So macam bila tengok, what? So like within dia punya movie kan, macam it came off as something yang like taught me so many things within berapa jam je. I was like, yeah, imagine yourself macam ni tu. Kalau dekat, contohlah dalam Kimi no Nawa kan, dia macam, imagine if you were like looking for something, and I was like, my whole life I've been looking for, like, oh, I didn't realize that. Then it's like putting puzzles, like, that kind of moment, and you realize that, oh, that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, so it's very closely, so the music, the everything. I think the one of the things juga kan, my friend also told me lah, and dia cakap, I pun bila dia dah point out these things that I realise juga lah, dia cakap yang the reason kenapa macam yang your point tadi lah Nazir kan, yang dia cakap pasal music, kenapa dia fokus sangat dengan music, sebab bila dalam Kimi no Nawa kan, perasan tak emosi kita kan, macam bila kita tengok macam contoh masa Meteor tu dia jalan kan, so macam it goes with you, go with it,
bulu roma I tengah naik when you're talking about this, man.
Yes, that's the thing. So I'm like, I was like, that's the reason why, because the graphic, the music, your emotion just like on a sheer level of like, just blown up my mind, man. Yeah, so.
I mean, just to top it off, I mean, I'll give you a quick rundown of my dalliance with this guy's work. Prior to Kimi no Nawa, actually, I think, to kawan-kawan yang mengenali saya, yes, they know me as a weeb, but I've been a weeb before I knew what the term weeb was. I've been a weeb since 1978.
Because weeb was coined, I think, in the 80s, right? Otaku,
But the thing is, pasal I mean, but I'm not a weeb dari segi macam orang yang macam the typical American weeb that akan buat muka and then go bakar and then thinking Japanese is the best language and culture in the world dan buang culture sendiri dan pakai baju anime. Tak macam tu. Tapi I am
si bakar.
I'm impressed with. I mean, bukan impressed. I was taken with the culture, the language. I think from a lot of sources. Like my dad lived during the Japanese occupation. He went to Japanese school, and then we had a Japanese family friend. I mean,
dekat Ipoh ada ni kan, sekolah Jepun kan?
Not to that extent, but I think my grandfather was probably 7 years old when the Japanese invaded Malaya in 1941. So dia teringat lah masa tahun Jepun, and then kita orang ada neighbor Jepun, and then so over the years, and then there was a TV series called Shogun from a novel by James Clavell. It was an American mini-series which actually bukan just having white guys. Dia tak ada no white guys dressed as Japanese. It memang pakai Jepun betul. It's about the historical event about. Anyway, just a long story short, dari kecil lah aku minat Jepun. So anyway, then minat anime dan blah blah blah. And then anyway, a friend of mine, if you're not mistaken, kata, go watch this film, 5 centimeters per second. Byosoku go centimeter.
I saw the trailer, yeah.
So I tengok lah, cakap, bloody jiwang. So it's 3 short stories in the film, and it's jenis jiwang yang jenis. Banyak orang cakap dia orang tak suka cerita tergantung, but after being at that time, after masa tengok wayang tu, I think I've been a veteran of watching enough J dramas or Japanese cinema to know how the Japanese like to end the film. Kadang-kadang tergantung, you know, jenis yang toleh ke kamera and then cerita habis, kita tak tahu
Spirited Away, come on.
Orang tu hidup ke, dia tengok siapa ke, happy ending ke. So you know, that's how the Japanese does it. So that film had that effect on me, and it's like, you know, the ending, you know, it's a sad ending, but you sometimes, well, they didn't show it right, so probably it's good. You know, it's that kind of film though. But the one thing that struck me about that film was the realism. So when I watched that film, and then the year after I went to Japan, because somebody said, and then I was reading, Shinkai film, dia buat real. So tengok, smart lah, betul lah. Because just before I flew to Japan, I watched Garden of Words. Koto niwa no niwa, koto noha no niwa, koto noha no niwa. So itu lagi tu pun jenis cinta antara seorang guru dengan somebody whose age macam probably student. Dia bukan cinta terlarang, tapi it's just like 2 lost souls, tapi just they kept on meeting in this garden in Shinjuku Guen, which exists in real life in the rain and that kind of thing.
Wait, Shinjuku got forest?
Garden.
Garden.
Which is between Shibuya dengan Shinjuku. So it's there. You can go to. Ada photograph pun kat internet nak tengok the similarities semua. So ini belum lagi nak cakap all the other films yang memang boleh exactly brick by brick compare kan. So I was fascinated, and then I went to Japan for the first time in Tokyo. Dan aku tengok benda bodoh lah, macam signs dekat railway station. The drops busy macam ni, and then you know, because kalau kita tengok anime dekat TV kan, because dia orang tak ada duit nak get licenses, dia orang tak tulis Family Mart pun tak tulis, dia tulis macam Family Card ke apa.
Dia akan macam
sini McDonald's, Boss Family Mart, you know, dia cakap betul-betul, dia tak ada. Nampak yang tadi yang bulat semicircle tu? That's a roundabout in Shinjuku. My hotel is just next to it. I walk to Shinjuku, I lalu that thing. No, benda-benda macam tu, I go like, papi lah. Lepas tu aku tengok video, and then aku minat music, I like Japanese rock music, and then I knew who Red Wimps was, and to see like how a band can actually So it touched me on so many levels, and when I finally watched this film, the bloody film, in that year I balik, for some reason tak tahu apa pasal, tahun that 2 years I kept going back to Malaysia a lot, and on the plane they kept on showing Kimi no Nawa ni. Every time on the plane I tengok. I saw it in the cinema, but every time on the plane I tengok. So I never got.
You always share that screenshot.
Because I teringat kat Tokyo. So everybody's got a different attachment to Shinkai's work. So for me, it's the music, realism, and of course the great story writing, in the sense that how, as Nazim eloquently said, boleh time travel, not lah time travel, body swap satu. Other than that thing, if you want to call it pindah tempat, because he's in Tokyo.
teleport.
She's in somewhere else. Unfortunately, as much as there was realism, the village where she lives is fictitious, but location wise is kind of is real. But pekan yang kena tu tak ada. But railway station yang ada mascot lembu tu ada. You can go to it. I've never looked for the sites when I visited the city, but or country. But it's nice to recognize the locations, and the same for me for Suzume juga, because macam as we get, we'll be talking about the film in a bit. She actually traveled if not two-thirds the length of Honshu tau. Pada saya teringat SPM Geografi Jepun atau or PMR ke apa. So she's from a place in the South in an island called Kyushu. Okay, anyway, let's look. Jamal's not here yet. Because just now dia hantar message, dia kata dia mana dia lihat soalan dari chat. Yes, he'll turn up. He got caught up with a telephone call, so inshallah he'll be able to join in. And then the two questions from Hanafi Holmes, two more questions. Tak ada cameo Kimi no Nawa ke? Ini soalan daripada what in Suzume?
I don't think ada tadi.
Bukan karakter. Seiyu je, Seiyu.
Seiyu ada, tapi tak nak.
Seiyu ada.
This film
cameo
is
tak ada, macam Weathering with You tak ada.
So Weathering with You and Kimi no Nawa is the same universe.
Unfortunately Suzume tak.
So actually kalau if you want to go a deeper cut, Garden of Words is in the same universe as also Garden of Words, Kimi no Nawa, and you know what? Because the English the teacher that taught Mitsuha in class.
Dia daripada Garden of Words. I was told about that. Betul. Yang ajar apa tu koto.
Dia ajar English I think.
Koto Bari. Koto Bodoki.
So the person that taught that concept is the teacher from Garden Forward.
Garden of Words. I see.
The voice actress is it's not Kana. It's
bukan Hanazawa Kana.
It is
Was it?
Nanti I will check. But it's the same voice actress. So. But not me. But there was a slight criticism by some Shinkai fans of similarities lah between previous shows in which dia orang cakap macam Garden Weathering with You was trying too hard to make it to sound too much like Kimi no Nawa kan, but that's not the reason actually. Yukinon Yukari. Yes, it is Hanazawa Kana. Hanazawa Kana was a teacher. But if Hanafi, if you are a fan of Seiyus, she is in this film. She plays the main character's mother in the flashback. But we'll go to that in a bit. And then our friend Category the Great, hi again, selamat hari. Betul ke ada about two female lovers? And then this is something this has been going adalah on the net, been going on.
Someone ada remember interview kan? Ada mention kan it was supposed to be
well, allegedly the long and short of it is that he wanted to have it two female characters. Basically Sota character was to be a female, but the producers of the film were against it. They were saying, a lot of your fans like your traditional stories. Why do we go along with that? He only wanted to do it because he was bored. He wasn't trying to push an agenda. So, but okay, whatever lah. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there as far as I'm concerned. So, so pretty much that's our experiences, actually, collective experiences with this the works of Shinkai Makoto. It's just that just another thing I nak comment lah. I mean, what 2 points that I wanted to mention that I was hoping that either of you were going to mention, whether is Shinkai a one-trick pony or whether he's just got an unimitable or original style. I mean, yeah, you can call him a one-trick pony, but people can see through. I mean, orang boleh tengok lah. Kalau kau ni one-trick pony, people get bored of you lah. But if three of your films are in the top 4 films of all time, that's not a one-trick pony. He's got a style lah. Macam kau nak pergi your favourite roti canai shop. Apa? Every time you go, next time kau nak makan char kway teow, and then the one after kau nak makan satay. I mean, you want to go for your nasi roti canai, right? So not that I want him to write the same story, but I don't mind if it's langit color biru, ada color purple sikit, banyak bintang. Tak kisahlah, tu signature dia.
Dia punya signature.
So and then I probably look forward to see it anyway, because the thing is, it's not like he makes a feature film every month,
every year.
Kita pun nak bosan kan juga. So and then I think another point, I think we did mention that tadi kan I ada mention kan those other directors macam Hayao Miyazaki ke apa. I don't expect people to know everything. I mean, I don't know it either, but do you think do you think Shinkai at the moment with his number of films under his belt can be seen to be, being put in the name of the great among the great directors in Japanese cinema, if not Japanese, in Japanese anime film if not Japanese cinema as a whole? Anybody wants to have any comments on this?
I'm sorry, what can you repeat again?
Tak, kau rasa Shinkai dah
sampai same level
sampai
dengan Hayao Miyazaki ke tak
to see in that way of ranking is not fair.
Yalah, dia baru ya.
It's not about baru atau lama, tapi okay, first for all I can say baru atau lama, tapi okay, bila dia cerita, bila Hayao Miyazaki buat movie, bila Makoto Shinkai buat movie, Miyazaki ni dia give something yang engkau tak boleh dapat dekat mana-mana movie anime lain. This something essence of talent yang cannot be replicated actually. Totoro, call it any director that any director, sebab there's something that you cannot put your finger on it, but if we stay in your heart when you watch it, it's like it's a love in the first sight, but it's something that you can visit again whenever you feel like to. But for Makoto Shinkai, visually aesthetic lawa, but the theme that being present, it's temporary. Maknanya it's not everlasting macam Miyazaki punya style. Sebab for Miyazaki, aku tengok satu NHK punya interview, dia cakap bila dia buat something tu, dia bukan sekadar lawa, tapi enriching storytelling. Enriching storytelling is full of emotion. It's full of heart actually. So maybe that's why setiap kali bangun pagi dia akan mencarut sebab distress.
Apa? Miyazaki is it?
Ya, Miyazaki. Kalau you nak compare dengan Junji Ito, miau walaupun buat cerita hantu. It's very like two polar opposite of these people tau. Yeah, very opposite. But okay, and also for me I won't put it on the bench macam dia dah higher rank up by Miyazaki. Tak, Miyazaki dia punya tempat dia in a way is untouchable. you cannot touchable. I mean,
No,
even though for once Kimetsu no Yaiba rank number 1 kalahkan Spirit Away.
Aku tak bermakna macam nak kata just because of that he's better than Miyazaki, but what I felt was, do you think he could reach the ranks of, tak bolehlah masuk golongan dalam gambar Raja Van tu, you know what I mean, as opposed to pyramid.
Okay, for the
ranking tak ada.
When diagram, I will say that basically Makoto akan ada his own throne, his own crown actually. Because kalau dalam buat the team that off-putting is really only him that can do it. This is his specialty. Ini dia punya talent yang ada. Macam kalau Miyazaki, kita nampak dia satu team tapi dia kembangkan. Dia kembangkan by story, by visual, by team. So sebab Miyazaki is a man of focus, dia fokus tu benda. Selagi boleh kembangkan, dia akan go all out. Dia akan go all out. Tapi kalau for Shinkai, dia nampak dua team ni, dia cuba try any kind of formula to make sure the combination are working. No matter what it takes. This is the way I see both these two directors. Sorry, I'm babbling a lot actually.
Tak apa. I mean, that's the point. I mean, we need to find out. Have you got any views, Myra? I mean, if you don't have any, don't feel pressure to, but
I feel like I'm gonna agree with that note because I don't know about the technicalities or everything behind, of course, like you said lah. Tapi the way that I perceive Hayao Miyazaki punya movies is just there's a little bit of something for every age, I would say. So kan. So tapi kalau nak compare macam like you said jugalah Nazir, macam kalau nak cakap pasal Makoto Shinkai, I feel like the theme gives me the same, like after tengok movie tu kan, I'm like you reach at some realization yang he still got it, like it caught, like you caught up with your emotions tu kan, dari Kimi no Nawa ke Weathering with You ke Suzume. I feel like at the end of the movie, he still got it, like balik keluar cinema. I didn't watch Kimi no Nawa and Weathering with You in cinemas, but after I watched Suzume, like the same nangis nak mampus, like very, like where have you been, like my whole life, like this story yang captured you in a way yang macam that's like Makoto Shinkai punya signature. So I feel like kind of resonates the same with me too. True.
For Kimi no Nawa, I don't know lah, maybe memang is my soft spot, but every time I revisit, I will bowling.
That's the thing.
Itu macam like how many times I look at the video, I'm a grown man, I can do this. Bila tengok every time. That's the thing.
It's got everything. Macam aku bukan pancur ke apa. I mata memang mengalir. Yang teresak tu cerita yang lagi satu tu Makia, itu yang I was like a baby. But you are right. Every single time. But for me, the bit that hit me for Kimi no Nawa macam part dalam kereta api tu, masa dia nak cari each other tu.
When she first got
no, when they've grown up.
Oh my god, no!
They were like shit.
He was macam kau yang nak masuk dalam TV tu tau.
And also the fact that the song start to play very slowly, macam
that's the
god.
Dia dah what? In the kokoro, man. In the kokoro.
That spot, like really just play with the strings of your heart, like god.
Okay, guys. I think we've done a nice enough sekilas pandang that lasted about 50 minutes. Sekilas
is 50 minutes.
We pandang again. We pandang again. So basically, we should be doing our. Well, we'll start talking about the film then, SUZUME NO TOJIMARI. So kita akan mulakan dengan reaksi satu ayat. Yes. Reaksi satu ayat to this film, SUZUME NO TOJIMARI. I mean, the apparently the direct translation means Suzume locks. So aku rasa ya betul lah juga boboh lah Suzume as a alternative international title. It sounds funny, Suzume locks. So reaksi satu ayat saya. So one ayat is satu surprise yang agak pleasant selepas apa saya alami dengan film Tenkinoko atau Weathering with You. Just to elaborate sikit is because seperti biasa Kimi no Nawa yang saya tengok 100 kali boleh kata best number one tak bosan. Saya rasa saya tengok Weathering with You 2 kali atau 3 kali je kot at the very most. Not that it's a bad film, but I just feel like okay. So when I watched Suzume, I was a bit guarded. So I was like thinking, macam ni lagi ke? But no, it wasn't. It was really good. So reaksi satu ayat dari Myra. What did you think of Suzume?
I'm not gonna lie that when I got into the cinema, I was like, is this gonna be another Kimi no Nawa? At that point, I have not watched Weathering with You. Tapi after I got out of the cinema, I feel like, you know, because the 3 years pandemic kita tak travel kan. But it took us, like, okay, it took me, you know, throughout the movie to travel. So I would say that was quite adventurous. So especially kan, it's very close to us yang everything needs to be done with our smartphone. So I'm like, you know how we go through social media, everything is very close to us. So and then bila dia bawa kita travel sekali, that's how it feels like to be on trains, to be on ferry, to be on this and that.
That's a nice way to look at it, yeah.
Yeah, so for me it was quite adventurous lah. It was quite
cool.
That's what I get lah after I got out of the movie, after bowling and everything. Yeah, dang it.
Yeah, mine was thank God it wasn't Tenkinoko. Yours was adventure. And what about you, Nabil?
Okay, don't hate me on this, but
go ahead. It's your opinion.
This is the most commercialized movie ever made by Makoto Shinkai.
Yes, I have that feeling too, but yeah, true.
This is the most commercialized because it's like
product placement.
It's like you playing how many product placement in the first scene.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, because I watch a lot of K-drama, so I'm like, what is already etched into my brain?
List your products out for our entertainment.
Spotify, Starbucks,
yes,
Line, McDonald's, Family Mart. There's a lot actually, actually during this level.
Dalam Kimi no Nawa, dating dengan Disonodera dekat bangunan Sutaya tu, Starbucks, McDonald's dalam cerita Weathering with You.
Okay, Weathering with You, yes, it's more commercialized. Tapi if you want to go back to Kimi no Nawa, at least it's much more lesser and less obvious. Kalau compare pada
dia macam subtle je kan, tapi dalam Suzume macam
tunjuk luas luas, tunjuk nak ambil kau, nak Spotify kita dengar lagu. Macam okay, it's fine. If you want to like a hyper realistic photo, lepas tu kau nak tekak anime tu, it's fine. I love the two. Tapi it's kind of a bit overdone, but that doesn't mean I hate it. It's not mean I don't like it, but it's kind of overdone actually. It's kind of overdone. I'm hoping probably maybe next Makoto Shinkai punya project, you know, just tone down a bit. Aku faham.
Subtle lah.
Yeah, like I understand. Basically, advertiser putting money on the producer wallet. Basically, we know about that. But at least, you know, just tone down a bit.
Tone down sikit lah.
Come on. Suzume dah promote Big Mac dekat Jepun. Apa lagi kau nak?
True.
Dia mau the commercial land.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what we've got anything from the chat. Actually, nampak macam tak ada, tapi probably it is, I guess, From
Makoto the God.
Makoto the God. Yep.
Haruki Tori. Makoto the good. Yes, bad. I can't remember. Ada one Japanese YouTuber ke apa dia kata. They keep calling me. Oh, sorry. Oh no, I can't remember who was. Mangaka. They keep calling me good. Why is that? No. It's me greatest of all time. and then he gives a couple of. Is that crying or is that laughing? But anyway, I think that looks like laughing. Haruki Tori tadi. Anyway, that's the only comment we got from chat at the moment. So seperti biasa, mari kita we'll start lah with the first act, which I've labelled as a bit slow lah sikit hari ni aku punya sistem, tak tahu lah. I think I become tadi masa video tu, video lag tak tadi? Ke okay? Video
sometimes you also freeze juga.
Ya ke? Probably it was I
Time
don't
raya kan
think
standard lah.
Yeah, I'll switch the video off so that we'll make sure we'll have no issues. Because yalah. Anyway, so we'll divide the film to 3 acts as per usual. So I've called this Act 1. So for this bit lah, Kyushu to Shikoku. Just for clarification, just in case you guys think I'm just putting some random Japanese sounding words, it's related to the location of where Suzume is. So as seperti saya just nak ulang pada sesiapa yang baru menonton ulang siaran live stream ni, basically sesi bedah ni mengandungi spoiler, so kami tak akan macam try not to hide anything, we just say it lah. So basically Suzume is a teenage girl living with her auntie in the island of Kyushu. Japan has 4 main islands. The biggest one in the middle that has Tokyo in it is called Honshu, and the southernmost is called Kyushu. If you've heard of the town called Nagasaki yang kena bomb dengan the Americans after Hiroshima, that's in Kyushu. Nagasaki was unlucky because they were supposed to hit something else. Because of bad weather, the secondary target was, so sesiapa pernah main game, zaman uncle dulu F-15 Strike Eagle je lah. So if you cannot do your primary target, you hit your secondary target in your mission list. So Nagasaki was unlucky. It got bombed because the primary target had bad visibility. They couldn't drop the second atom bomb. And just another piece of history with regard to Kyushu is Nagasaki is also the town where the Portuguese first landed. And if you were to visit the city, banyak architecture barat dari segi Portugis ada kat situ. So makanan-makanan makanan seperti tempura semua datang dari situ, because tempura tu datang daripada teknik Portugis deep fry barang. So tempura isn't a Japanese traditional dish for them. Anyway, so basically nama nothing to do with Totoro. Pekan dia duduk ni nama Miyazaki. Is real. It's a real town in Japan called in Kyushu called Miyazaki. So ponytail high school girl bangun, pergi sekolah, adventure starts. People would say a typical Shinkai film with all its streamings yet again. So pandangan anda. So I will gonna take you, Myra, first.
That's the thing. What was the question again?
The question was, I mean, as much as you've probably said you dah tengok baru first 2 films, bila you start cerita ni, tengok alah budak sekolah, rambut ikat, pakai ribbon. Alamak. What did you have that? Did you have that heart sinking film, or you were thinking that it's not too bad?
I feel like dia macam coming from watching a lot of J-dramas and K-dramas juga. Bila kalau macam like I said lah, bila dulu kan orang kan usually buat tengok anime ikut studio. Ini kan pakai Makoto Shinkai punya kan. So like I think like I mentioned previously, these are the things that when I first like at the beginning of the movie kan, okay, now we watching Makoto Shinkai. Yes, this is it. The uniform, ada ribbon, these are the things yang just wanna give you the sense of familiarity, I would say. So sebab bila tengok anime yang lain kan, dia macam mesti kita akan fokus dengan, especially kalau tengok girl punya character, like the uniform and everything. So the same goes with this one. Bila cuma dia punya I was like, oh, dia tinggal dengan makcik dia. So these are the kind of things that brings me, oh, this is Makoto Shinkai punya movie. So the first, I think 30 minutes, macam you are like he's bringing, because sebab I feel this is the reason why juga dia buat macam ni. I mean the director buat macam ni sebab dia nak juga sense of dia punya signature work tu ada tau, like laying ground, like as a base for the audience to, Tapi kalau macam for those yang first time tengok his movie, then dia akan macam cakap, oh, you already have this, dia nak you familiar dengan cerita anime Jepun yang pasal sekolah. For me, sebab like I said before, dia punya, when I prepare, I would say prepare lah myself, like watching Makoto Shinkai punya movie, I feel like I wanna, like I'm looking forward to the music, the flow and everything. So it goes with what I want, like when I watch the movie. So these are the things that I am not like macam against, like I'm okay with it. Cuma macam bila itulah dia ambil masa, like you kind of like letting go the sense of like, you nak control what do you want out of this movie tau. Like you gotta just let it wash over you. I don't know lah, but that's how I feel when I learn about
Okay, actually I'm going to ask you the kind of the same question, but I'm going to continue with the next question, which is linked relatively to Myra's question anyway. Tak dengar soalan ni dulu So beberapa konsep fantasi dalam the first 10 minutes kita dah disajikan dalam, as you can see, especially the bottom bit and the next overlay. Let me just put the next overlay so that senang nak kita cakap benda ni. Sedikit perlahan. Yeah. Anyway, so a few concept bagian disajikan. As you can see, diblock oleh perkataan live tu, the red worm-like maelstrom, the keystone or the Kaname Ishii concept, and of course the door. So obviously at this first 10 minutes, kau rasa macam anyway, perasaan as opposed to pandangan, perasaan anda tentang on how things will get going from this point onwards, taking into context what Myra has said in the first few seconds, alah, cerita Makoto Shinkai lagi ke? Okay, anyway, go.
Alright, comparatively on the first and second movie, compare dengan third movie, I think the way that this scene goes into action is kind of a bit fast paced. Actually, to be honest, it's a bit fast paced compared pada first and second sebab I believe Your Name is dia take their time to bring in with the kampung punya suasana. Weathering with You pula, it take time to bring to pengenalan watak lelaki yang daripada luar dan hidup bandar sebab nak kalau dia kepopong kemiskinan apa semua. And this one actually macam is kind of too fast. Aku macam okay sebab I was hoping we getting a good part because it's too rushing. So just hoping when the first and half of the act they let some scene bring in for us to be more connected. However, aku macam mana aku tak expect it's gonna be like same emotional baggage as a kimono lawa ataupun video tak, but I waiting for that kind of hook on feeling yang when you connect to the base, bila dia dah banner sampai ke mercu, when everything crumble, that's the part yang give you the realization macam oh shit, but macam it's kind of like mana dia, aku tengah tunggu tu. And also aku rasa aku mistaken lah. Bila masa first Suzume buka the keystone, I thought the keystone was a fox, not a cat actually. I thought, wait, wasn't it a fox? Sebab bila keystone tu cabut, it turned into animal. So bila aku tengok it's a white feline, wait, wasn't it a fox? Then bila Daiji keluar, kucing. So you know, but you know, I know, but in here their word is a shape shifting. So basically they can transform into anything lah. And also Mira, you also watching in the cinema. I believe the the chanting of the Shota, how they translate was very good, right? In the bahasa Melayu.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that would be nice. That would have been nice. Oh, bahasa Melayu is the best,
There's like, it's almost poetic.
Very poetic.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. True.
And also the fact that English on top, Chinese and Malay, and English on the ground in Malay bersemayam. I macam, weh, bapak poetic sial.
Yes.
And the person who did the translation
was very
top.
respect lah.
Thumbs up. If I know siapa, I'm like, because my friend actually did the translating thing too. So I'm like, huge respect, man. Like, that kind of like me off too.
Because actually I think a few anime in the cinema, and kadang-kadang I kecewa with the cinema sebab it's too direct translation tau. Sometimes
macam Google Translate kan.
Exactly. It's like Google Translate macam lah, kenapa macam ni? Even
you can do better, man. Like
and also funny thing is when I watch Kimi no Na wa in cinema, I also emotional. But bila you tengok Netflix, that subtitle guy translate the song, it's like pour emotion into the song. I was like, what the hell, man? Sebab you know, when the song came out, when you read it in the English, it doesn't really feeling it. But when it become bahasa Melayu, I macam, this guy deserve a raise
to your heart, like
deserve a raise. Really, like the emotional sangat sampai tau. So and also for me and to be honest, okay lah. I think we all agree. Masa kali pertama Suzume dengan Shota bertentang mata, it's a one side love. It's a one side love. Don't tell me they are both in love. Don't tell me it's a one side
dia tak
love.
Macam tu. Yes.
Yeah, basically Suzume yang terkejar-kejar. Right? Suzume,
which is literal throughout the movie kan. Basically aku nak pergi sekolah. Yes. Oi, mama handsome dengan rambut top. Kejar. I macam, aduh, okay. Tak apa. It's okay. We see how we go. I don't know. On that note kan, do you feel like when you were watching that movie, like throughout the time kan macam dia cakap kan, macam Nazir cakap, dia kata terkejar-kejar kan. Actually, I feel like that too tau. Kenapa pula dia macam really is the reason kenapa dia nak cari Daijin tu ke, ataupun dia nak cari some sort of connection with the guy? I have this connection. Spoiler alert, it's a connection.
Yeah, of course it's a connection, because tapi that's the beauty of it, isn't it? I mean, I mean the fact that it made you think that those two things, and it goes to show that the Shinkai hasn't revealed yet why is she so keen to do this, because it could be on many levels. Dia tak nak nanti dia ke, atau memang genuinely there's something inside her that
dia nak tolong orang ke, tapi tak ada exhibit mana-mana tau.
I mean there is no motivation for her to go beyond that actually. So macam
that's the thing.
Actually aku nak cakap banyak lagi, tapi kita tunggu for ataupun jejaka paling handsome antara the three main films, and that she jejaka datang dari bandar,
and then I don't care and then I don't care if he is if he has 3 feet, and I'm not being pejorative. I need to chase that man. Yes. Oh, our chat is a bit shy, so we've not. Kepada chat, jangan malu nak tanya soalan. Kami, I mean, I like to point out, saya buat soalan ni bukan macam nak pretend to be like, saya kami pengkritik filem. Tak, because I rather talk about this as opposed to, apa kau rasa dia beli basikal tu kat mana? Kau rasa bukit tu tinggi ke? Apa pasal dia boleh nampak? Kau benda tu everybody has the same
Tak rasa macam naik basikal tu tengok Kimi dan Awah ke?
So but if you have those questions, please by all means ask. We are here to try to answer according to how we think. I mean inilah filem atau as kita dalam group WhatsApp, this is cinema.
Scorsese
This is cinema, it's open to interpretation. Just a couple of things that I like to mention by sebagai bukan kata filler, tapi macam anda mungkin tertarik kepada obviously adegan di mana Suzume bertemu dengan Shota dan Shota tanya kat sini ada ruins ke tak? Or in Japanese, the word was Haikyo. Haikyo mean not the volleyball anime Haikyu. So she pointed, kat situ ada an old onsen. Onsen is pretty much a place where there's telaga air panas lah untuk mandi panas Jepun, typical lah kan. So and as you can see the scene where the door was or is in an onsen. I think, can we see that here or not? So basically not to dwell on it further, you can see it at the back. There are ruins and you'll see more ruins. Sekolah, kita tengok dekat funfair. It's not unique to Japan only, but the thing is going to ruins among some people is a hobby actually. They call it urban exploration, urbex. So some people go in France, they go under the city in Paris, catacombs ke, masuk longkang ke apa. So basically kat Jepun banyak sebab kenapa pekan macam tu ada ruins. Kenapa benda elok-elok macam ni jadi macam tak ada orang ya. So banyak sebab antaranya sebab especially in this instance more likely di tahun 1980-an macam tu, about 1990 up to 1990 something, there's this thing called the real estate bubble in Japan, di mana ekonomi Jepun berkembang pesat gila lah dia sampai and then the bubble burst and ekonomi merudum. So if you are old enough, you might remember the days when Japan was a big global economic powerhouse. Go to America buying studios like Sony buying Columbia, TriStar, bila and then kalau siapa peminat Die Hard, film Bruce Willis. In fact, the first Die Hard film was about him being stuck in a skyscraper owned by a Japanese company.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Nakatomi. And then
Nakatomi,
and then siapa tu? Harvey Keitel kata Nakatomi, Sakitomi, whatever lah. Hey boss, wanna eat some sushi? If I wanna eat mercury, I'll eat a thermometer. Dia racist. So because zaman tu Jepun, they buy a lot of stuff. In fact, so much so dia punya security guard pun ke Jepun, So but just to show how the economy was so big in the 80s and then it all fell down, and then you get pockets like this where they had funfair, amusement park atau resort like towns, because people had no ikat perut business when people went out of business. And then more nearer to the time will be the 2011 earthquake. There are certain parts in the north of Japan so become like this lah, because people takut nak travel up north, takut radiation. But yeah, so there's lots of this Haikyo or ruins lah that you see in Japan. And so So Kyushu to Shikoku. So basically dia kejar buah hati dia yang dah jadi kerusi kaki 3 ni. Naik ferry ke tempat nama EHIME, to the smallest antara 4 island tu nama Shikoku. So EHIME tu is on the western side. There is a ferry service that goes there, and we'll go there in segmen yang seterusnya. So di segmen seterusnya kita di Act 2. So at the moment, yes. So right, Act 2, I've called it. Well, this part of Act 2 is called Shikoku Kobe. So dia berjumpa dengan 2 orang. I thought this was quite nice.
With the kids.
Yeah. Not just a kid. I mean, the fact that it feels like a little road trip story kan, where so along their journeys merentas 1/3 the length of Japan main island, there are some helping hands. So macam kita tengok dekat pen overlay panel kedua, Chika, the orange carrying moped girl. Nazir, your point of commercialization, tapi Pak ni macam ada komen dekat mana dah aku baca artikel dalam Japan Times. Ni apa ni? Ni road trip ke atau tourism video? Pasal oren tu oren mikan tu is the product of EHIME.
Oh my god.
Tapi in Shinkai's defense as a fanboy, habis tu nak bawa durian. Kan, dah kat situ lah. Anyway, so and then Rumi, that lady down there, the mother of 2, who to my surprise is actually the owner of what you call a snack bar. Snack bar ni saya tak minum. Well, betul saya tak minum. Tapi snack bar ni kepada anda yang biasa tengok J-drama atau J-film, yang pernah tahu konsep, yang tahu konsep hostess bar. Hostess bar yang perempuan seksi-seksi, yang all the drunken businessmen, yang tapi perempuan ni dia minum je, dia kata belilah lagi, dia nak you beli alkohol je, and this woman can hold their drinks. Tapi yang tu hostess bar, dia basically if you have no money don't go drink there. Tapi hostess snack bar dia bawah sikit, dia macam kedai mamak. Tapi adalah dia pakailah cantik, kan dia pakai cantik-cantik kan, dia beli karaoke, kira macam hostess dah kampung lah. Tapi kepada macam foreigners yang datang bekerja kat Jepun, kadang-kadang dia orang bosan malam-malam. Kalau macam British people, dia orang suka pergi pub, minum marak. Tapi people kat Jepun ada macam ni je lah. Tapi it's quite surprising. I wasn't expecting her to pick a hostess bar until when Suzume got to her house. But anyway, pandangan anda tentang the supporting characters, and your experience after watching a few, do you think he likes to? I mean, all his supporting characters have always been interesting, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts?
Well, for me, I really don't really have problem with the supporting character. Dia macam the theme was you will never know what you gonna encounter actually. That's bagi aku macam a very beautiful theme. Macam
kehidupan betul lah.
Yeah, basically when you help each other down the road, the help will come through you back. It's like that. And also
macam pernah dengar je ayat tu.
And also I love. Really, I forgot already.
Hey, why did you mention that? It reminds me that I've heard that before as well. Kat mana?
Demon Slayer episode 3.
Apa?
Demon Slayer episode 3.
Oh, yes.
Actually, aku tak tengok lagi the last episode, so I will.
No, bukan aku kata kau plagiarize, tapi it's nice that you mentioned that.
Yeah, it was so nice though.
Yeah, and also, baru aku perasan, this thing happened right after Shota and they lock the door. Basically, whatever Shota punya chant tu kan dikata, apa yang engkau beri akan kembali. basically it's kind of inverted apa yang berlaku in the scene actually. For me, it's a very subtle and poetic. But it's being tarnished a bit by unnecessary scene. Pergi tolong oren, pergi masuk apa steak bar. So and also like the bond yang Suzume buat is not impactful. I mean, it's delivered, but it's not that strong actually. And also, this is just my bit nitpicking lah. Bila Shota pegang pintu tu, he can hear all the emotion, all the memory, right? I think Makoto can do better. Like, you know, this wormhole is a bad thing. Maybe can amplify the negative emotion much more stronger. Sebab this emotion like very neutral base actually.
So it's actually part of your train of thoughts yang mana ni.
Yeah, exactly. Sebab I think okay, this could be better kalau macam especially the pivotal scene is when she locked the door. So you know, like could be better, like, you know, show like give more reason why this door must be shut actually. I mean understand Shota dah explain, okay, kalau kita tak buka pintu, wormhole akan datang musnahkan
dunia apa semua. Verbal je kan, dia explain verbal je.
Verbal.
I was actually, I'm also agree on that lah actually, true.
Yeah, exactly. Sebab dia macam okay, verbally cantik, tapi in more term of spirituality, in the emotional yang can be connect to the audience tak ada. Itu yang dia lacking actually. I mean for this scene I don't have any problem at all. I mean it's just for me, it's just a passerby scene yang maybe to help develop character. And also one more nitpicking, why in this scene there are lesser screen time between Shota and Suzume. I mean in this scene are supposed to be their bonding actually.
Yes.
Yeah, but their bonding langsung tak ada. I mean almost zero ada, tapi it's very minimal. Macam basically okay,
bukan semua orang can pick up lah maksud dia.
Yeah, okay, it's one thing. And lagi satu, I swear to God, Shota tak tunjuk interest langsung dekat si Suzume ni. Only Suzume yang macam cakap-cakap kerusi tu. Shota macam kerusi, weh jangan duduk atas aku, weh jangan kasih aku. Itu je. Like come on, say something. Shota, don't be a hang. Say something a bit. Kita dapat
dia kena maintain bro. Dia kena
sebab kan.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, tak teruskan lah.
But come on, Ali, waktu part kau peluk kursi tu dekat train tu, you guys can have a conversation. But no, apa kita tengok kucing tengah melempak daijin. Itu je. That is nothing. Macam come on, that scene was long, okay? It's long enough for you to develop much more character in depth yang bagi like, you know, bila sampai scene plot twist tu, bila sampai on the third the climax, we can feel the emotion. And also okay, you know what? Climax scene aku letak tepi sebab aku tak nak aku tengah hold the rage ni. I'm really holding my rage actually. So basically this is what I've been nitpicking actually. I mean, it's the presentation was good, but it could be better. It really could be better actually. And you know, if I become the exec of Shinkai, I will ketuk kepala kau buat betul-betul sekarang. Kau tulis betul-betul. I really wish I would actually, sebab I mean the scene was good, but it's been wasted by zero potential. Like come on, aku tak nak tengok. Okay, you know, you want to see hostels apa semua, fine, go ahead. Tapi give some heart, give some soul in it. Where's the soul?
Yeah. Okay, sebelum Myra nak jawab the question, this is my observation of what you've been
saying.
Sorry,
Myra, I really.
No.
Don't worry about it.
It's an opinion, bukannya fakta ke apa. I mean, macam lain orang lain lah cara dia nak react. And I mean, I could see him, bukanlah dia cool and heartless, but he's probably jenis dia nak man-man ke, atau dia some people can be still a bit shy. I mean, he didn't ever even rejected her or whatever.
That's the thing. Dia macam, you know, macam dia tak ada apa-apa. Umpama it's like
you can go either way. You can either go playing cool, or you want to be like that character in Urusei Yatsura yang at every single thing. Oh, she's hugging me. I can see between her buttons. You know, you want to be that kind of chair.
No, I mean like if you to playing cool nice, bukannya kau playing cool and heartless. That's the thing.
I disagree with you there.
Go ahead. Bully, go ahead. I know I'm right.
I don't think he was heartless, but Myra, go.
Okay.
Go and say your point.
I mean, it's not heartless. Dia macam emotionless. Yes, emotionless.
Okay lah. Or not showing any emotion.
Maybe. Okay, because we're talking about the second act kan. Like, okay, coming back to my point on this thing being adventurous. So when I arrive at this act 2 lah kira dia, oh nice Mukti. And coming like when I arrive at this act 2, I would have to say I was also thinking what are these characters like has to do with this ini. Tapi kan on hindsight lah, bila you macam you recall balik kan, dia macam nak bagi tahu kan, like especially if you like coming back to, you know, if you were trapped in pandemic, you know, nak travel apa semua kan, dia macam nak bagi tahu juga like life is an adventure. You don't have to control everything, so you don't get to like control siapa kau nak jumpa ni. So I feel like dia nak bagi tahu yang sebab age wise juga dia kan macam like, at that age like so macam this is the time yang you buka sikit fikiran yang ni. Tapi so I'm like macam chill je lah yang part yang ni. This is part yang kita nak dia nak orang kata macam bagi tahu yang Suzume ni kiranya macam dia punya karakter macam like if you judge like macam first hand macam tu je lah, macam kiranya dia she's not a deep person. Dia macam tengoklah dia macam follow chase je macam tu, and then like she doesn't have this deep character, tapi it's just that I would say kalau macam it's just preparing her for the next thing, tapi nak counter balik because I'm not really macam agree sangat lah on that notion yang dia we agree to disagree. We agree to disagree kan. It's just kalau macam nak ikut, kalau like I said lah kan, Makoto Shinkai ni dia suka macam kalau lah kau dekat tempat dia kan. So if I were to think that if I were Shota, dia just along the way kan, dia consistent dengan dia punya karakter tau. And then macam orang kata kan, kalau
he's the dutiful son kan. Kau tengok bapak dia macam mana kan. If he can travel around the country doing all this, mungkin keadaan dia begitu di mana dia tak ada chance nak ada relationship. I mean,
so
it's actually
salah kakak dia lah. Blame his grandfather due to the stern character.
Tak, dia macam bukan nak blame.
Nature versus nurture kan. I mean, you are part of what you are is based on your nature as well as nurture what's around you. You know.
And then ingat juga kan, the reason like at that point of time dia macam desperate tau nak buat dia punya duty.
Why the hell you took the keystone and it's now a cat?
So consistent to his character, dia macam dia sebenarnya kalau dia heartless apa semua tu kan, for me ngam. He like it's a Tadashi like it's like a macam ngam lah dia macam tu, sebab kan kalau nak fikir duty satu ni, and then Suzume apa yang dia buat tu sebenarnya tak bagi aku aku macam fikir kan, dia tak adalah macam nak si Shota tu like get off the track that he's on right now. Dia macam nak tolong, nak push. Okay, let's go with this. Okay, cari ni. Nampak, let's go.
Amend her mistake lah sahaja cerita.
Yes, tapi yelah nanti act 3 baru kita cakap lah. Bila dah arrive act 3 tu, then yang I feel like then you rabak lah, then you ball, and then I ball out lah. So yeah, that's my take lah. That's my take.
Sorry
yeah.
for this one, I memang tak boleh
Hey,
anything lah. Like,
don't apologize, Nazir. I mean, this is
tak
what
apa.
discussion is all about. Because people have different thoughts on different things. Which brings us to the next bit actually. So the second part of the Act 2, I call it Tokyo. So obviously after the
Tokyo.
2 more events that we've got a third event here in Japan, which is Tokyo. And then actually, I'm gonna go to you, Myra, first. So by the time they got here, kita pun sebagai penonton sudah dapat daripada exposition melalui tutur kata character, our main characters, especially from Shota, a few more of the concept fantasy yang kita diperkenalkan dalam act pertama. So pendapat anda tentang pacing atau rentak cerita setakat ini, cerita Suzume ni? What do you think that is nice, rush or whatever? Go ahead.
I remember that sebab macam continue on my first part yang is a bit adventure, bila dah sampai dekat Tokyo ni, I understand yang dia dah memang build up the plot sequence lah basically kan. Tapi for me macam sebab yang ni after Ferris wheel kan?
Yes. Yes.
So
after.
I would feel that the Ferris wheel kan dia macam bapak intense kan. I would feel that this was supposed to be Ferris wheel tu kiranya macam dah peak. Tapi bila sampai Tokyo punya, yang dekat Tokyo ni, time ni emotion memang I was all over the place. I was worried about this, like the outcome of this. Tapi for me dia a bit
why was it all over the place? Just wondering.
My emotions. Sebab macam I fikir, wait, siapa nak priority? Siapa yang macam masa tu Shota, like I was worried about this, like macam tu lah. I feel macam is Shota is going to be like ni dia macam expectation tu nak ni kau nak. So masa tu I macam quite overwhelmed lah. Tapi bila nampak visually tu memang dia kan banyak sebab kan Tokyo kan banyak orang kan. So bila tengok macam dia macam Tenkinoko jugalah. Kan sebab Tokyo ni they have this like same kind of like reference already placed in your head.
Which is nak ikut perasaan aku ke atau nak fikir secara logik nak selamatkan all these people.
Macam Kimi no Nawa pun sama kan. Kau macam aku nak ni ke nak tu ke. Tapi for me dia punya pace I don't know, I feel like at the time it's not enough. I would expect more. Dia macam you know lah, that more, like I said lah, of course lah kita expect kan few things kan. Macam masa meteor shower tu kan, tu that kind of like. Tapi for me bila tengok yang Tokyo ni macam tak enough lagi ya. I want something more visual than this, like dah lah tengok IMAX kan. So macam apa lagi yang macam at this point barulah macam I need something more, because at the first macam I think like 45 minutes kan, dia macam dia laid out the ground, dia macam buat dia punya groundwork lah, like on us as an audience. Tapi bila sampai yang ni barulah macam okay, apa lagi ya. Tapi for me that was it lah. Tapi for me macam it's not enough lah. Yang kat pas sini macam tak enough lah. After the Ferris wheel lah. That's why I feel a bit dejected lah. I remember that part.
Nazir, pacing cerita.
Alright, I believe this is the scene where Suzume was torn apart sebab Daijin datang kacau. Daijin datang kacau. Lepas tu dengan nak tutup pintu lagi.
And then Shota, and then the exposition that Shota is the new keystone. And now I can be your cat. Aku geram, tapi at the same kesian.
The cat is an asshole lah. The cat is really asshole lah, cat lah.
Tapi aku kesian juga at the same time. Anyway, go ahead. Sambung.
Sebab macam bagi aku like, okay, this is a very good scene actually. Sebab Shota dah realise lama, tapi dia tak nak mengaku. Dia tak nak mengaku dalam hati dia yang the swap already happened. Swap already happened ever since when the cat curse him. So macam
yeah.
So basically dia tahu dah, cuma dia tak nak putus asa. Dia tak nak putus asa. Dia nak keep on cari dadai jin tu supaya nak revoke balik the curse. But macam maybe for concept yang Makoto buat ni, when okay, aku pakai word dewa lah ya, sebab okay, when the dewa under the mortal form, the dewa will follow the rule of nature, where a cat, you know, cat become a cat memang nak want to be pet by human. So that is why dia cakap okay, we will be together, because when the first time dia jumpa dengan Suzume, he feel the attachment. Okay, this guy is a very good. I mean, she gonna love me forever. So basically, you know, cat punya perangai nampak bila kau tengah mesra orang lain pun dia akan kacau kau. Dia akan cakap this human is mine. So it's exact replicate of what the real home cat actually look like. So macam bagi aku, I'm not boring enough. I know this is intensity, tapi it's like I cannot really connect with it actually. I mean I know it's good, but I really cannot connect with this one, with the plot twist apa semua, like doesn't really resonate with me actually. Aku tak tahu kenapa, tapi this time it doesn't really resonate. I know like ada viewer memang dah rasa macam this is a equal part bila dalam Kimi no Na wa where Taki minum sake Momisoha.
Sake Alio. Kucing sake.
Kucing sake. So it's a equal of the scene, tapi I don't feel that same emotion that being present by this movie.
That's why.
Dia macam
juga.
ada something is lacking, but I don't know how to say. Maybe the soul, or maybe like Chota dengan Suzume not spending enough time together to get to know each other more in the more emotional level. Maybe that's why when the Ferris wheel scene came out, Tokyo scene came out, it's not really that impactful actually. Sebab kalau kita tengok macam Kimi no Na wa dengan Memberi video, apa yang dua-duanya aku suka sebab they are spending time together, how their connection is being forged actually, being made. Itu yang macam bila sampai the climax scene yang buat kita menangis, we can feel the gravity of emotional that heavy. We can feel what is the guy feeling actually. So bila sampai dekat dalam ni macam it's a letdown to me. It's really letdown.
That's why lah you cakap you need something yang macam visual kan, instead of like verbally je highlighting that part yang kalau kau tak buat macam ni dia jadi macam ni. But yeah, I feel like there's you need that kind of punch to your heart that then it's clear, you know, even within your expectation pun it's clear to see yang apa yang supposedly you know to have that kind of gravitational true. I do agree lah. That's exactly what I'm looking for lah at that point.
I just like to add something or in opposition, but something because aku rasa aku rasa pasal untuk aku cerita ni dia lain sikit. Yes, there is a love developing. It is actually one-sided. But because the fact that kita tak sampai ke act ketiga lagi, although we do have, okay lah kita boleh cakap sikit pasal dia dah tunjuk sikit-sikit kan. I think by this time, by the end of Act 2 and the beginning of Act 3, I think beginning of Act 3 lah is this thing that I want to mention is the solidify is the wrong word, but it's made evident untuk kita sebagai penonton sepenuhnya apa cerita ni sebenarnya. Tapi because ada development of sayang terhadap Chota daripada Suzume, tapi kita kena fikir yang sebenarnya the inner turmoil, bukan turmoil, apa yang tersimpan dalam diri Suzume ni is building up to the in the crescendo towards the third act, which is, I'm going to say it now lah, her mother, her dead mother. This is a story about her dead mother. This is a story about closure kot. Kan? I think by now also she met Shota's father in the hospital. And Shota's father, so
grandfather actually.
Grandfather, sorry. Yang dia kata, the fact that you could do it meant that you've been through it before. And the only way to go into it, you need to go to the same door that you went in last time. So this is the beauty for me in this story. Kalau I want to cry, not because of the relationship between her and the bloody chair, but between her and the mother. You know, because she built the bloody chair. And look at the sacrifice Takami, the auntie had taking care of her. Bukan salah Suzume yang dia jadi sebatang kara because dia jaga, tapi dia ada manusia macam tu. After a while you feel like aku jaga kau penat-penat, aku dah korban ke semua ni, kau macam ni je. Tapi sedangkan it's not Suzume's fault, but it's not your fault either. I mean, bukan nak kata siapa tu, macam kalau kau jenis dalam Twitter show kau jenis palatau kata siapa suruh awak tak main Tinder, siapa suruh awak tak pergi Jolly, you know, like, but that's beside the point lah. But I think in my opinion, expecting for, you know, like these two characters to show why this no impact or apa, but that's more to me because dalam cerita yang sebelum ni Kimi no Nawa, they were yes, they were star-crossed lovers, but not by choice. The love develops later, you know,
by destiny.
So is weathering with you because they met. So yes, they met, but you have to bear in mind, makcik ni ada baggage. Whereas those two characters probably didn't have much baggage. It became a baggage once he discovered, for example, in Kimi no Nawa, that Misuwa was in the past. Damn, is she dead or what? Kan, you know.
For me, dia macam to add that point lah. For me, it's more like finally you have that conversation. Because like I said, dia macam building up like the crescendo, right? It building up towards something. Tapi it's more like macam I think from the very beginning pun macam yang I cakap lah, bila I realise the pattern si Shota tu, then I realise that bila dia tak ada room like wiggle room untuk macam like to develop more in terms of like something happen ke, bila ni dia macam mendata je and then something happen yang you rasa macam perlu ke ada scene-scene yang perlu ke side character macam ni, perlu ke Serizawa, macam tu kan. So bila I fikir kan, maybe this movie is not about like you gotta have to let go you punya holding on to the past, you know, holding on to you punya attachment to Kimi no Nawa. Maybe this movie Makoto Shinkai macam nak, can you just like, you know, this is something new, yang macam the bond between the mom. So dia, tapi the thing is macam bukan I think not everybody, that's the reason why lah kenapa dia tak macam hebat macam Kimi no Nawa to audience, sebab dia punya intensity in terms of dia nak highlight, for me lah, dia nak, the way I perceive it, like dia nak highlight the relationship between dia dengan mak dia, tapi dia tak, dia punya scenes tu tak visually macam punch you lah, I would say. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
So,
but then that's a balance that needs to be had between to make it to Hindi film, you know, versus a more subtle Japanese hit you in a feels kind of thing. I mean, as far, I mean, going back to that same Japan Times article, I mean, they said whether or not the side characters were a bit two-dimensional. Apa kau nak three-dimensional sangat? Kau nak wayang ni 8 jam ke? Nak tahu cerita backstory Serizawa, beli kita kat mana? I mean, but the fact that, you know, okay, let's talk about Serizawa. I mean, since we are now almost in the third act, mari kita ke segmen kita yang seterusnya. Okay, we'll talk about Serizawa, but I think I don't have a picture of him in here, but we'll go to reaksi satu ayat punya gambar dia. So biasa, kita dah jumpa, this is the fourth lah lepas atuk kepada Shota and Serizawa kawan universiti dia basically yang dalam kereta. At that point I was hoping so much that Tamaki hooks up with him. Tapi Tamaki ada colleague dia yang berjanggut tu, yang cinta yang sebelah tangan yang bawa lori tu kan. Dia macam kita dah tengok dia, I bet you he fancy her but tak berani nak cakap. Tapi yang part ni aku because as a music fan of Japanese music but not this genre of music, dia minat music pop 70-an dengan 80-an,
70s,
specifically called city pop. And then
city pop.
So aku tak minat sangat city pop, tapi pasal bloody hell wayang ni aku pergi cari lagu. So unfortunately kepada penonton di rumah siapa yang minat lagu Jepun and then saw this film and thinking whether or not they're going to have it in as part of a music from, unfortunately the soundtrack tak ada. Tapi kalau masuk Spotify tulis aja Serizawa, ada 6 lagu.
Ada dia punya tu.
So I'll put it in the description below. Bukan sponsor. A lot of film have music in it, but so so there'll be songs from Seiko Matsuda, Yuki Awai. So for those who are fans of those kind of music, in fact there's a song, Seiko Matsuda song, is actually from a obscure anime called Memories, Penguin Memories. It's about penguin. Penguin ni, it's not just any penguin. Kepada sesiapa yang tahu arak Jepun brand Suntory, penguin ni mascot untuk Suntory. They made it into a film in 1984 or something like that, based on the Vietnam War, and it's on YouTube. Pergi tengok, tulis Memories, Penguin Memories, Suntory full film, ada subtitle, tengoklah. And it is set in America. But anyway,
sorry, Kudo, aku nak tambah sikit cakap city pop. I'm surprised this movie tak ada lagu Mayunaka no Do by Miki Masubara. I'm surprised this tak ada dalam playlist Serizawa.
Itu obvious sangat, tapi but the other ones were quite just nice lah. But lagu tu satu dunia tahu. But anyway, so coming back to act kita ketiga. Sebelum kita sebut sebagai act ketiga, obviously there was one point that I wanted to mention just now which I've forgotten. Okay, anyway, act ketiga ni saya namakan Tohoku. Tohoku kepada anda yang old enough, everybody should be old enough to remember there was a big earthquake in 2011 on the 3rd on 11th of March. Okay. Anyway, so basically before we talk about earthquakes, and obviously sekarang kita tahu wayang ni basically revolves or berlega around earthquakes, based on the legend of Namazu. Namazu ni dalam wayang Suzume, kalau kau tengok explanation daripada Datuk, daripada Shota himself, I think it was Shota himself yang dia tunjuk macam gambar, ada tunjuklah ada ulat besar di bawah tanah. Sebenarnya kalau
dalam
mengikut
buku tu ke?
Yang dalam buku tu, kalau kita ikut apa siapa tu ni, aku tunjuk share sekejap. Dalam apa, what you call it, the actual mythology, dia ikan keli bernama Namazu, besar ikan keli ni. Dia dalam gambar ni, this is actually the wrong picture. The correct picture bukanlah wrong picture, but there's another better picture. Let me see. Is this one? Is this picture? So basically the legend of Namazu is you got this big ass catfish under the country. So it's called Namazu or Namazu, kuda besar, and it causes earthquake. So according to the myth, the guy in yellow is a god called Takemikazuchi. Okay?
The god of thunder.
aku tak tahu lah the god or whatever, dia restrain the catfish.
Mikazuchi god of sumo. Oh, god of thunder tersilap aku.
Okay. Tempat batu biru tu. Kanji tu dia tulis Kaname Ishi. Kaname Ishi basically mean foundation stone or betterly capstone or keystone. Okay? So the cat, then the bloody cat is one of the capstone. So they need two. Satu kat kepala dia, satu kat ekor dia. So dalam cerita Suzume, Shota cakap Daijin is actually the west, but the one in the east is somewhere near Tokyo, but tak sure kat mana. So obviously masa kita tengok scene dekat Tokyo masa when the door was finally locked, because it was able to lock properly because Shota dah jadi keystone kedua, because the cat kata now I can be a cat, but kena marah semua kan. So that batu biru tu is the cat lah. Shit.
So dia tak adalah macam hidup sangat.
So that's the legend lah behind. So basically dia cakap, so kalau if Takemikazuchi the god tu macam leka sikit, the catfish wriggles and the earth shakes, so you get an earthquake. Tapi just nak statement menyimpang sedikit. When I was reading all this, they did find scientifically that catfish could detect earthquakes with some degree of accuracy, about 80%, a few minutes before it happens. So diorang in fact ada satu logo untuk this earthquake detection system. Gambar logo dia gambar ikan keli.
Holy.
So there you go. Mythology meets
Science.
Science.
Real science, yeah.
Exactly. So okay, back to the act ketiga lah. So anyway, the auntie Tamaki catches up, albeit with a kalau passenger. Ini part aku tak faham sangat. How did the other keystone manifested itself and came out? Who let him out? But anyway, before anybody answers, and then we've introduced to, as we described earlier on, city pop loving Serizawa in his car, and all road leads to, as they say, Tohoku 311. But there's a slight comment that I want to put in this question, but just roughly speaking, I mean, just to talk about the plot, korang rasa, as you could see in the overlay kat bawah tu, apa nama? Sadaijin kan?
Sadaijin.
Macam mana dia terlepas?
I don't think Sadaijin ever terlepas sebab tahu-tahu dah ada.
Because it has to be terlepas
but okay, I have a theory. Isn't that the wormhole manifests from negative emotion, right, of human? If I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
No. Sebab
tak ingat lah.
Sebab Sadaijin appear right after makcik dia lash all out dekat Suzume.
Dia bukan lash out because of having the cat inside her, but he came in after.
Bukan, sebab Tamaki macam dia dah tak tahan lagi dengan Suzume
kan,
asyik
the bit where dia lash out kan. Okay.
Yeah, so basically macam when lash out dia kata aku tak ingat pun yang aku selamatkan kau. Basically bila kau tengok balik scene tu, it could be dia macam ada duality of Tamaki tau. One Sadaijin basically
sorry.
Basically when Sadaijin like kind of possess Tamaki to lash out all the negative emotion in order for the Sadaijin to grow. And also Tamaki punya kata hati sendiri yang sangat marah pada Suzume, sebab Suzume macam dia tak dengar cakap kan, sebab dia tak properly explain daripada pergi ke Kyushu, kau pergi ke sini.
Yes,
So
yes.
macam kau left your makcik hanging like that.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, it's a good explanation between the relation between the makcik and Suzume. But macam like I said earlier, it's kind of due to lacking of time, actually lacking of duration, itu yang makes the impactful was not so strong. Although Tamaki are the one found Suzume masa kecil, give encouragement. It was beautifully made. Tetapi sayangnya is not long enough to growing with us actually. Sebab masa tu kita dah kelang kabut. Okay, kau nak pergi selamatkan pak kau nak pergi tangkap kucing tu. So it's kind of like a falling apart actually. Really a falling apart during that moment.
Yes.
Actually, before I go to you, Myra, with the same kind of question, I think I want to talk about this point now, since we just talk about the catfish, just to bagi habis lah, this talk about earthquake. So as I said, act ketiga ni Tohoku, and kepada anda yang mungkin tak berapa ikut sangat berita daripada Jepun ke apa di tahun 2011, about 20. It is actually 12 years ago, and cerita ni describes the event of Tohoku 311 as 12 years ago. So this is set in 2023, wayang ni. So the famous 311 earthquake, or otherwise known as Santenichi in Japanese, was a magnitude 9 earthquake, lasting about 6 minutes, bawah laut, east of Japan. It was the most powerful recorded earthquake in the country, and the fourth most powerful in the world ever since record keeping began. So tak tahulah, tak sama kot dengan I don't know, Krakatoa in Indonesia semua, Vesuvius in Pompeii tu, tak tahulah kan kau zaman dulu. Tak ada. So basically seperti nampak kapal atas bumbung semua tu. So basically menyebabkan tsunami paling tinggi dia 40 meter off the coast of Iwate, was the highest recorded one. And not only that, it caused obviously 19,000 people died, more than 6,000 people got injured, about 2,500 odd people went missing, damage total through $360 billion. And then not only that, you had a problem because of the earthquake. There was a nuclear reactor in Fukushima leaked. A problem still up to now, being controlled like crazy. But yeah, it was a major disaster in Japan for that time. I visited the country 2 years after that. For 3 years after that. I'm not saying that Pastor could visit too. Memang nobody was talking about 311, but I think nobody traveled up north sangat in that neck of the woods. Yeah, but yeah, it's one of those things that, because benda ni baru lagi kan, ni bukan macam cerita lama. Kepada anda yang tengok ayat ni, mungkin teringat dia mention kan, kalau Tokyo punya event tu kita tak kunci, dia ada mention the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake, which also a massive earthquake. Pada peminat Hayao Miyazaki punya anime, this earthquake was shown in the film Wind Rises, Kaze Tachino, because there was a scene where the main character was going to Tokyo on the train as a youth, and then suddenly they showed, aku tengok macam, is he displaying the Great Kanto earthquake? And it was a horrible earthquake. Imagine zaman tu. It was 7.98 Richter scale. Yeah, basically semua ni bukan saya bukan peminat Jishin atau earthquake. Ini semua dari Wikipedia. It lasted about 4 to 10 minutes. Varied accounts happened in the plains of Kanto, basically where Tokyo is. September the 1st, 1923. So led to about between 100 to 140,000 people died. Zaman tu orang sikit lah, tak compare. Tapi that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people who died, and it was horrible. But yeah, so basically they say if we don't shut the gate, the one in Tokyo, this will happen to this unexpected population of people that, you know, so people like Shota and his grandfather going around the country locking gates. So itulah, they're gonna be a nice boring couple when they get married, I'm sure. But back to Myra, we were talking about so after all that talk about earthquakes, and obviously I don't know, I mean I'm not Japanese, so I don't really understand. Mungkin aku takkan pala tahu lah, nak tahu what would a Japanese person think about this. But there was a interesting comment made by a film reviewer in the Japan Times. I'll just read this verbatim. Quote, there will likely be a debate about whether Shinkai earns this climax, which evokes a real-life incident from Japan's recent past, close unquote. So, pandangan anda sebagai a non-Japanese viewer, I mean, jika anda seseorang penduduk negara yang ada disaster yang sebesar ini, yang affected the psyche of your people, you might know somebody who died or injured or lost their loved ones in this. And it's only 11 years ago. I don't think Shinkai was being flippant in showing 311, but banyak orang, bukan banyak, I think where this reviewer was mentioning this in this way was because so kau nak buat the paling tear-jerking reason for your problems is the earthquake. Is that a fair sentiment, or is this something that you think, yeah, you shouldn't use the 311 earthquake lah, it's a bit insensitive? Do you have any views on that?
For me, sebab okay, let me just share lah on that part lah. Sebab we do lost some relative on the great flood dekat Sabah yang paling dekat Sabah. Dia ada satu kali ni banjir ribut Greg ke tahun 90 something. So if I were to imagine kalau macam sebab it was quite ni sebab on Muslim punya, Islam punya perspektif kan, masa yang like growing up kan, sebab banyak yang the reason kenapa jadinya kira malapetaka lah dia punya level tu, sebab satu kampung tu got flood, kena wash over macam Bali tau, macam apa
Aceh.
So macam Aceh kan,
okay.
dekat Sabah masa tu dekat Keningau. So we do have some relative yang satu kampung tu dia kena wash over by the malapetaka, which is weird tau, because Keningau is not, dia one of the, dekat area dekat Sabah ni, dia one of the, dia macam valley tau, tapi banyak yang orang kata ajaran sesat, sebab dia nak travel pergi Keningau dari KK is about 6 hours. 6 hours. Dia record ni. So kira macam malapetaka macam tu kan, macam kira macam as a Muslim, I would say definitely macam ngam lah pada muka korang, sebab Allah turunkan bala tu sebab nak korang buat macam ni. Dia macam orang kata macam ambil pengajaran daripada zaman-zaman Nabi dulu kan. Tapi sebab kalau nak cakap pasal real punya malapetaka tu, kiranya macam tu, sebab I do lost some relative. Kalau macam ni, it's a bit, for me it's a bit, bukanlah personal, tapi kalau macam I would definitely the view of the journalist I would definitely not, I'm not gonna, if I were Makoto Shinkai pun, I will try my best to jangan samakan. Sebab it would definitely feel kind of like insult to the injury.
Because personally I don't feel it was insulting, macam best sekali cerita aku. Tapi for me it was like, oh dang, 311, how would I wouldn't have thought, but at the same time, forget about that. The real drama was people lost their family and all that, and say Suzume was real. She's living 12 years of her life thinking about her mom. You know, like how she, okay, sini spoiler kan, cerita spoiler kan. So because at the end of the day, look at the mom. She found the chair because dalam fikiran dia, this woman who looked like her mom gave her a chair, and now we know who the mom was. So I thought it was beautiful, but I don't think personally lah, untuk aku, I don't think he was actually insulting the memories of the people who died at 3/11.
Yeah, tapi you would think that he's not. Cumanya sebab I've definitely encountered this kind of articles before. Like in real life, bila dia macam jangan jadikan benda tu macam agenda. You know lah how media, playing this thing, ada
yalah, I don't think Shinkai was doing an agenda, tapi
he was not. Mungkin unintentionally.
Criticism daripada orang ni lah yang try nak, untuk aku macam that reviewer tu yang ada agenda just to make the article spicy ke apa, but anyway.
So
continue.
So bila nak yang kiranya that's my take on that dah lah. Tapi kira macam for me bila dah sampai third act ni kan daripada first act tu macam I macam chill, like going through the motions je lah yang masa yang second act tu. Tapi yang for me bila sampai pergi third act ni, I macam sebab daripada yang I was kind of lost masa yang second act tu. So bila sampai third act ni, macam like I said, I was dejected tau. Macam something is not enough. It's not enough. Tapi bila sampai pergi third act ni, I do feel overwhelmed by sebab bila sampai third act ni yang last act lah kan kiranya. So bila sampai third act ni, dia reveal sekaligus tau. The emotion ni dengan Shota kena like is his consistency, dia punya karakter, kenapa like you said lah, you need something yang personal, something close to you, something yang to Suzume. Tapi macam like I said, that I realised at this point yang this is not a love story about ni. It's about like on hindsight lah, I would say macam bila you close one door, there's like another door opens, like open a window for you. So kalau macam at this age, like taking consideration of Suzume punya age at the time, so maybe it's about time for her to let go and then move on to something new. Macam tu, not in the same form of love, tapi it's just, tapi orang kata macam like I said lah, bila Makoto Shinkai punya works ni kan, it really helps me process a lot of things yang unsolved within me tau. Like so bila sampai dekat ni, so I talk to my mom about this because I'm having something yang macam I have this very complicated relationship with my own mother. So when I finally talk about these things, like sometimes yang kita ada certain expectation that we want to meet what our parents yang expect kan. Tapi it's when I watch this, like, and then I ask my mom about like certain diseases kan. So dia cakap, that is not what I want for you. So I was like, so macam tu, itu yang macam bila tengok apa yang mak dia punya ni, dia punya sentiment, she was lost and then she found her again through this memory. Like macam yang Atok Shata cakap kan, dia kata basically kan daripada awal sampai habis kan, kira dia macam adventurous tau. Tapi dia macam nak bagi tahu, like I'm gonna ask you guys in this life kan, pernah tak orang macam cakap kan, bila you were lost and something, ada tak orang yang berani cakap dengan confident the only way to go is through, you know? Because I don't have that kind of people telling me, because I'm always being like macam nak everything I do I buat macam ni, apa yang I buat keputusan macam ni. Tapi bila I tengok macam, sebab Suzume dari awal macam sampai ke this point kan, dia macam going through the motion je. Tapi bila at some point of realization yang dia macam, this is the moment yang that door, I have to go through that door. Tu macam then dia macam, cumanya lah I nak cakap, even though I do have that kind of like sense of realization, tapi macam saya cakap juga, daripada act 2 sampai part yang ni, visual dia tak begitu, I still feel ada lacking lagi. So mungkin that's why bila sampai point spoiler alert lah, bila sampai
betul lah, go ahead because kita dah habis lah. Kita dah
bila
penghujung
sampai ke point yang the moment when the only thing to solve this, macam dia macam Thank You Noko punya moment juga, it's like warmth of a person, which is daripada Suzume ke Shota kan. Dia macam, and then it just melts, and like nak let go of something yang siapa, macam I try to remember siapa yang pernah cakap to someone yang macam Rurouni Kenshin lah. Dia kata try, kau tak akan rasa alive later unless you live for yourself. So
is this from the anime, right?
I haven't watched Samurai X yet, tapi dalam movie masa yang sensei dia cakap kan, dia kata the reason kenapa kau macam ni, kau tak sampai ke tahap yang ni sebab kau masih ingat, tak apalah biarlah aku mati. Kau tak berani nak hadap yang at that point of life, like my mom said lah, dia cakap kau tak sampai lagi point di mana you gotta have to live for yourself. Whatever that you do, kau kena ingat this is your own decision and you have to live for yourself. You have to live with it. Because it's a different thing when things happen to you, macam throughout the ni kan, sebab mak dia ni, she lost the ni kan. Tapi at that point, bila dia dah go through the door and then she realised and then she found her memory again, tapi dekat situ yang baru dia decide. Macam like I said lah, it's like the finally makcik dia macam have that final like macam that ultimate conversation yang
sepatutnya dia
sepatutnya makcik dia kena ni, dia ni kan. Tapi and I was like, because I have a niece too and I have ni kan, I have a situation. So macam it's not her fault tau, bukan Suzume punya yang salah tau. So I was like, makcik kau kena, did you actually talk about this? Then I was like, I did not talk about that to my niece at all. Yeah. Because I was having this huge expectation. And then I realized that, shit, I did not talk about these things. And my mom pun cakap, so I was actually waiting for you to arrive. So yeah, so you finally arrived to that point. And thanks to this movie. Yeah. So yeah, that's my take lah. Cuma
I'm speechless, so I let Nazri sambung.
Alright, macam back to the Mira cakap tadi. Just tambah sikit lah ayat ni, sebab ayat ni aku dapat dekat Twitter tau.
Apa? Go ahead.
Untuk engkau, for you to live to die day by day is easy. But if you live to live day by day is the hardest
thing.
Hidup untuk mati senang, tapi hidup untuk hidup is not easy.
Yeah, of course.
It's the hardest actually.
Of course.
And also, macam bila kita dah sampai ke climax, this is equal part where Taki and Mizuha berjumpa betul-betul between sejakala, between sejakala.
Maghrib tu.
Kira apa?
Drama pukul 7 Jepun.
Kita panggil bila matahari tergelincir, something like that.
Yes.
So basically kau tahu Doke tu, when the door between world open, that's the biggest part. Honestly, aku felt a bit the emotion sebab bila Suzume buka the door yang dia patut buka dari awal lagi, sebab kita nampak bila dia nak cuba tolong Shota, tapi dia keep remember that it is her mom yang tolong, tapi bukan her mom, it's her future self yang tolong. So macam okay, it's not her but it's me. Basically this is a same scene where Harry Potter patah balik masa in third movie, do the Patronus charm in order to save Harry and the Sirius Black. It's exactly the same scene.
Japanese Harry Potter.
Yeah, and also aku geram kenapa kerusi tu dia tak explain kenapa kaki 3, kenapa tak kaki 4. Aku rasa dia left hanging now.
Okay, I have the thing is sebab coming from Gundam lah. Okay, coming from Gundam. Dia ini style siapa nama? Shikazu Tamino dia akan apa yang dia sebab Gundam mostly dia original kan. So
betul.
usually kalau macam manga macam bukan Makoto Shinkai lah. Macam anime, dia usually manga and then anime and then live action kan. Tapi kalau Gundam dia terbalik tau. So dia daripada anime dulu baru dia jadi manga tau ataupun novel. So these are the things I would say marketing. So I caught this lah. Macam dia kind of like a product replacement, how you cut a product replacement. For me this is marketing. Ada benda dia tak reveal. You macam mana you try to loophole every single moment, kalau boleh frame by frame pun you tak akan tak akan cari, tak akan jumpa. What is that? Tapi stay tuned. I have this strong feeling yang kenapa 3 kaki, contohlah kalau you pergi, sebab macam Hayao Miyazaki pun dia Spirited Away, macam dia punya Ghibli Park pun berapa tahun kan benda ni, tapi macam ada I encounter some articles yang ada banyak easter egg dalam
explanation kan to what you
so banyak, so stay tuned. I feel like if Makoto Shinkai punya macam, yalah dia dah sampai ke dia macam Hayao Miyazaki kan, so mungkin akan ada something yang dia ada point untuk dia insert the reason kenapa 3 kaki. So
aku ada reason bosan aku it was an earthquake and a tsunami. So when she found the chair, the third leg was gone, the fourth leg was gone.
It's kind of like I kind of feel like okay, soalan aku, macam mana Suzume boleh hilang kerusi tu pun dia tak tunjuk.
Kan?
Tak tunjuk. Tiba-tiba nangis kat pintu. Suzume dewasa datang, nah kau jagalah kerusi kaki 3 ni. Really special. So dia tak ada proper.
Aku bukannya, I don't think this is palatau, but I think looking from the beginning of the film when she dreamt walking looking for her mom. You know, masa zaman when the earthquake happened in the morning, was it? It happened what time? I think it was in the morning. And anyway, and then what happened was people were in school. So the survivors would have walked back home to find the home, and everything. Kapal atas rumah semua. She was wandering around and she was found later by Tamaki hugging the chair. Because she didn't find her house in the first place to find. I mean, we can assume the mother, being a nurse, died in the hospital. Died in the hospital.
That also one scene yang aku rasa macam sangatlah cantik. Sebab Suzume dia tak nak terima yang mak dia tak ada. So that's why macam the whole series dia in a way kau nampak dia hidup dalam denial, tapi actually dia dalam proses of accepting the fate that okay, mak aku dah tak ada, aku ada makcik aku saja. So macam dia like, apa yang aku perasan sambil dengan syuting tu, dia split, dia tengah mencari bayang-bayang mak dia juga. Although her mom was although a mom was never there in the first place, it's only her actually.
So that's what made the story more poignant. You know, as I said, at the end of the day, if any tears were to come out of your eyes, is the final realization of whether there's a degree of closure she finally had. I mean, the because now here's the Shinkaism here. The Shinkaism here. The Shinkaism here. She reached her closure on entering the door for the second time when she gave the chair, telling her younger self the future will be fine. Unfortunately, her younger self will wait another 12 years to finally reach closure. But it's beautiful, isn't it? Tapi, you know, and you know, this to the people who are another Shinkai film. Okay lah, fair enough. Tak kisahlah.
Tak apalah.
But I got it. One shot, and I enjoyed it. So tapi I think that's beautiful lah cerita ni. Sorry. Have we? Actually, I guess this is my last question, but I guess we did mention it. But and now we've talked about. I think we can ask this question. We've finally said that, and I like to see how our discussion evolved in the last 2 hours 20 minutes. Jamal, we miss you, but I think if you were here, we'll probably be in Act 1, and it'll be a much more better. I mean, no, I'm not saying that the conversation is crap, but imagine the additional conversation that we get with Jamal, because Jamal's a writer, and I like to pick his writer's brain whenever he's a panel. So anyway, but sorry pada peminat penonton di rumah yang expecting to see Jamal tonight. I bet he has some things to attend to, but whatever it is, I wish him well and hope to see him again in the future stuff. But back to this question, the human story that we've that been there all this while. So pandangan anda tentang the human story in this otherwise natural disaster averting road trip fantasy. I guess this is a nice way to close up our discussion lah. We'll start with you. I mean, what's your opinion? So, the layering of this story, the fact that it's not just a girl chasing a chair, shutting doors, but it's more to it than that. Our opinion, your views, or to close the conversation.
So now that we have arrived to kiranya macam in conclusion lah kan. I think I did mention before my rate. I think the reason kenapa dia macam is a bit like lacking. Dia meet all the expectation that I nak from coming out from this movie. Cuma dia macam in terms of orang kata cerita ni whether it's relatable ke tak juga, sebab that's the thing, bila macam tengok contohlah macam nak cakap pasal realism ke, nak cakap pasal plot story ke, tak, for me dia memang I macam tengok the same with Kimi no Na wa, whether I'm being healed or not, sebab anime is a form of escapism lah for me. Tapi
of course.
Tapi bila tengok macam ni, does it help me in any way of like coming to realize something ke yang I'm I'm struggling with? Well, kind of yes. Yeah. So for me dia macam there's a thing lah bila tengok Kimi no Na wa ni bila tengok Makoto Shinkai punya works kan, dia tak semestinya dia macam goes with Kimi no Na wa je, dia tak direct translated tau. The same balik pada sentimen macam mana yang all the chance semua kena translate like nice, like poetic kan. Dia macam tu tau. So I tak directly applicable the whole movie, tapi I just enjoy dia punya emotion, dia punya how dia punya ending kena macam mana. Tapi nak cakap pasal pace, cakap pasal ada yang macam platter, ada macam ada yang certain part tu I feel like dejected. Tapi like I said lah, it was an adventure lah. So so macam that's my take lah. After everything coming out of the movie, walaupun masih bowling juga macam, then it was quite an adventure lah. So that's
Nazir, your thoughts, your final thoughts, and with regards to the story as well as the human story underneath all this.
Okay, bagi aku for this movie, I think the problem was too many layer to uncover actually. Sebab engkau ada emotion story, engkau ada family story, engkau ada backstory, deity punya story lagi. So aku faham Shinkai cuba dia nak balance out everything. I know the balance was good actually, sebab there's a part we feel the emotion, there's a part we not feel the emotion. Betul macam cantik. Tapi the layer is being stretched too thin. Macam kalau kau comparekan pada the last two movie, dia punya stretching tu tak string sangat. dia stretching 1-2 tapi dia boleh fokus equally rich actually. So kalau nak compare dengan yang ni, dia perbanyakkan lagi the emotional plot apa semua. However, the cost yang dia dapat, dia tak dapat spread out the equal reach actually. So that's why ada kadang-kadang bila kita tengok certain scene, we feel the emotional besar, ada yang kecil. So bagi aku tu macam it's a bit let down lah. But you know, Shinkai maybe nak cuba new experiment sebab mana tahu the first second kita dapat tengok 2 team. Yang ni dia tak tambah sekali 5-6 team. Mana tahu kan sebab Shinkai suka on the eksperimen this and that. If I'm not mistaken, Shinkai datang Thailand sebab local Asia punya distributor jemput untuk launching SUZUME kat Thailand. Dengan bawa kerusi sekali tau. So it's kind of fun actually.
He's been around. He was in London. He was in Berlin. He was in Berlin and London.
Yeah.
He was in Berlin on the day that I watched the Demon Slayer film. That was last month, in March. And then he dropped by London. He dropped by Berlin in March. But on the day that aku tengok the Demon Slayer compilation film, he was in London. So aku baru tahu, ada nak take, because it would ada Q&A dengan dia lagi. Tapi dekat British Film Institute and I don't know, the BFI in London has an IMAX screen, whether or not they showed it at the IMAX or not. Tapi masa aku check tu sold out, so I got a feeling the ticket was sold out a long time prior to that. Anyway, so aku pun tak tahu ada. But yeah, he was in before he came to Thailand, he was in India. He's in India recently, and then he was in Taiwan. But he's going around lah, bringing the chair.
So sebab I think the last 2 weeks dia dekat Thai sekarang. Thai ke? Dia dekat Thai. So aku rasa Southeast will be his last session sebelum dia balik ke Jepun lah. So yeah, I think this movie was good. Tapi dia tak ada rewatching value macam Kimi no Na wa. Macam this movie yang maybe kau boleh tengok sekali 2 kali, but gap tu kena panjang, maybe 6 bulan sekali atau setahun sekali. This movie yang kau tak boleh tengok every sebulan ke 3 bulan, tak boleh sebab value tu akan lagi cepat bosan. This what I can say lah.
So anyway, I've got an answer to, bukanlah an answer, I got my own views to both your comments, but it'll be perfect to do that in the final segment, which is rating kita for this film, SUZUME no TOJIMARI. So, okay, saya ada rating untuk wayang ni, but just to clarify, probably you've heard me, I did the 5-minute video, I've given my rating there. Pretty much is what is the rating that I'm going to, same rating, I'm not going to change it. And I think kepada penonton yang dah tengok video saya, tahu that saya suka wayang ni. Tapi saya agree, kalau, dia ada banyak lagi wayang, tapi wayang, kalau macam 5 cm second tu, itu wayang paling menusuk kalbu. Guardian of Words pun menusuk kalbu juga. Tapi Kimi no Na wa was like, whoa, because aku berpuluh kali and definitely I think I gave it a 10/10 if not 9. But then I was slightly disappointed with Tenkinoko, but I was very happy and surprised that I really enjoyed all this. And I think in all your points, both Myra's and Nazir's point about how they perceive this film, in my opinion, seperti biasalah, whether or not they stretch the mythology out too thin, because I don't see any point to see because my impression of the film here is about a person finding closure about her mom's death. So semua ni background noise. Okay, macam aku nak buat cerita seorang budak nak mencari ayah dia yang hilang. Cerita tu set in 1945 August. Okay, So maknanya in the background ada radio dengar Jepun surrendering to the British in Singapore. Do I need an explanation why the Japanese invaded Malaysia, Malaya at that time in my film? No, I don't need to. That's the background noise or background story to it. So that's my opinion. So we have the legend of the Namatsu thing. Yeah, we can talk about it some more, but that's not important. I think I've learned a bit by being with the BuzzPop guys that I think that's a plot device to
just adding note, kalau kau nak buat that kind of movie pasal bapak cari anak, anak cari bapak, amplify the emotion.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't need to amplify that emotion because the problem is this Suzume looking bukan cari mak dia pun. Kita tak tahu yang sebenarnya dalam hati dia.
Yes.
I don't know. Untuk aku, it worked for me. I do not know how much more you want it to be. So I think it's just nice. It was at a level that's just nice. Whether or not it's a cultural thing, whether it's a personal thing by the author, I do not know. I mean, I'm not casting any aspersions. Perhaps if I'm a melodramatic tearjerker, drama nombor 7, Hindi film loving person, tak cukup lah. Ayo, I don't no death like this one. I'm not saying that. It depends on the person. I find it that's enough. But kenalah ada cerita, kenalah dalam dia punya travel from that far down south. You think nobody will help her? So obviously and the person that help her along the way, tak adalah 1,000 orang tolong dia, tapi macam enough to know ada cerita sikit pasal dia orang in this 2.5 whatever hour film. So and then also I find that this film a bit more not mature, tapi because I do find the 2 previous films, I know kita cakap macam as if these 3 films were the only film that he's made other films, but I think because these are 3 most famous films paling dekat paling mature lah, because yang lain tu semua macam budak-budak sikit. I mean cerita pun bukan cerita monyet tapi cerita of a younger group because you have to bear in mind people might argue, alah Suzume pun sama umur, tapi she's somebody brought up by her auntie, mak tak ada, bapak tak ada, that toughens you up a bit, and she is tough. If she's not tough, she wouldn't have gone up 2/3.
Hantar dia duduk dekat bridge, dekat ferry je, nak pergi ke tak ni? Hantar
she probably have like tak apalah. Bye share.
Kan.
The movie ended there in 10 minutes. Tak adalah. I mean, also saya bagi 8.5 because I think I gave it an 8 out of 10 at most and 9. Saya kalau any ranking, saya husnuzon, saya bagi 7. So if I start watching it, I'll bring it down. If it's teruk, I'll bring it down below 5. Tapi kalau it was good, I'll bring it up above 8. Because for me, 10 over 10 has to be God tier, S tier. Yes.
Yang
Akira.
semua on point.
It's like, so you can't give too many things 10 because that means you probably have not much standards to have anyway if you have calling everything 10. But at most 9, so 8, between 8 and 9 and 0.5. So Nazir, your final remarks and your rating, please.
Okay. I will reserve my comment macam tadi. This movie is only good as you watch for the first time and rewatching in a long time. Maybe you can make it you can make it your own Christmas movie yearly. Atau mungkin is your summer movie annually.
Yearly.
Yes. Yeah, you can do like a annual Makoto Shinkai punya tradition to marathon all of his movie pun boleh. Tapi never ever watch this movie in the close gap actually. Honestly,
I'll take your challenge when I buy the Blu-ray. I'll tell you how long I get bored of it. Then I'll tell you.
Okay, cool. I cannot wait. Alright. So I think I have nothing much to say. Sebab this movie was good as it is when it's good as it is, and the rest of that is nothing more to add actually. I think this is the lowest rating I will give for Makoto Shinkai sebab for previous movie aku bagi quite high last two movie, but this one I say 6.7 over 10 my final rating. 6.7 lah.
You're a clown, man. You're a clown. No,
I'm not a clown. I'm
kidding.
I know. I just be reasonable. I mean, this is yang aku ambil kira semua aspek.
So what were
the
your
good, the bad, the ugly.
Your scores for the two other films, if you don't mind telling us.
Of course, Your Name will be 9.8 over 10. Weathering with You 9. No. Weathering with You I give 9 over 10.
Ooh, 9, tinggi.
Solid 9 lah.
Solid 9.
Yeah,
Okay. Myra. Hit us with your rating.
Okay, so like I said previously, the part I am consistent with when it comes to SUZUME no TOJIMARI is I feel like the adventure, the realization, and sometimes you gotta read between the lines when it comes to certain things. So I also nak cakap juga yang kind of like the reason yang part dia jumpa different characters, yang side characters yang you feel like it's not really macam doesn't give much impression or like give a lot like yang macam mana nak like is it gravitational towards the ni. Tapi I feel like it's kind of if you watch the movie till the end, then you realize that the mother with the two kids, single mother, like her mom. And then you will realize this. So every tu sebenarnya tak adalah macam orang kata it's out of context. Ada, tapi a different person will pick up different things. So I do pick up this part lah yang kiranya. So macam like whether the negative like orang kata macam view when it comes to single mother. So pasal yang orang kata macam the deities tu macam I macam tak ambil ni sangat lah. So tapi yang I baru realize lah, I tak tahu pun pasal yang Sandaiji. I totally overlook all that part. Dari mana dia datang kan? Tapi mungkin
ada dekat Nazir.
Jap. Wait. She's coming.
Dia malu.
Siapa?
Not really.
Hey.
She's a really
okay. So apa nak cakap tadi? So it's just movie ni if you coming from Kimi no Na wa and Tenki no Ko, I would say you gotta get that Makoto Shinkai punya signature in terms of visual ni. Tapi I would definitely agree Nazir ke cakap tadi yang this is a bit experimenting with the theme and audience juga. Sebab you would expect star-crossed lovers from like Kimi no Na wa dengan Tenki no Ko kan. You would expect love conquers all or tak ada apa benda yang macam any other like macam you will get over this issue, you will get over this, you just have to like the same goes with the previous movies. Tapi dengan yang ni dia lain sikit. So I think after I watch the previous two movies pun I'm gonna say yang this is not dia punya demographic bukan shonen lah ataupun shoujo. Sebab just a little bit of this, I would say this is definitely for young adult atau seinen lah orang kata. So sebab
Nomi.
Yeah. So there's a reason why macam bila masa keluar daripada IMAX kan, so I listen to other comments about apa ni macam you would expect ni. Tapi bila I fikir balik yang tengok ni macam umur umur-umur yang macam younger than me kan. So yang dah tengok Kimi no Na wa, dah tengok Tenki no Ko. Tapi bila jumpa dengan my friends yang my age, they will say it hits a lot of spots, you know, like as an adult. That's why I said. So bila tanya my mom this thing kan, so I cakap, so this movie dia is a whole, I was not whole lah, tapi I would say a quarter at least of it dia memang lain daripada yang his previous movie. So I was just hoping that, cumanya kan macam sama ada kalau orang dia focus on this, then I would definitely akan bagi like 9 out of 10. Tapi sebab I also coming from anime pure ni juga a bit VIP side of me saying that a lot of things need to be more exaggerated, ataupun music dia tak flow as much as you have this kind of beat, you can't blame, you know, as a you would expect this kind of, cumanya kalau macam rewatch value, like I said, I would definitely watch this macam Kimi no Na wa, dia remind me of something, so I would definitely going to rewatch this movie kalau macam I'm in need of that reminder. Yeah, so do you remember, so I write things down, like this movie brings me this, you know, you gotta have like this. If you wanna recommend pun, macam my friend recommend Kimi no Na wa to me when I was looking for closure, when I was looking for something that, yeah. Tapi kalau yang movie yang Suzume ni, I would definitely recommend for those yang looking for something is not there. Something yang mungkin through this movie yang evoke certain emotions. So you if you feel like you need something, a trigger, maybe trigger your emotion, your memory, your apa punya kan, mungkin akan dapat lah. So that's my take lah. So overall for me, I think I've mentioned this before to you kan, Kudo. This is 8, paling pun 8.5. Dia tak reach 9 out of 10 for me lah. Yeah. So on a good mood memang 8.
Yeah. So you 8 to 8.5, so kind of almost what I felt anyway. So exactly. So as we say, everybody's, it's nice. No, we can't agree on everything, and by the end of the day, this is actually quite a good outing by Shinkai Makoto. It's be interesting to see. Although I have to say, I'll be interested to see where is he going next. How much more can he twist? You know, everything's got a disaster bit tagged to it. You know, we got the flood in Tenki no Ko, we've got a bloody big meteor, you know, and a destruction of half a town, or in fact the whole town in
yang tu yang jadi background story kan. So kira macam I also interested to know about the thing.
So tu lah. And the fact is, we have seen that he's done other stuff. So basically, kalau kita tengok balik his previous work, Garden of Words, it's a love story. No magic things, if I can remember. 5 centimeters second also, no magic. In fact, it's a poignant love story. So cerita dia banyak jiwang lah. I've watched to the one yang cerita pasal, I beg your pardon, the one that he yes. Oh no. Voices. Children who chase lost voices. That's quite good actually.
Oh. That
one felt a bit Ghibli-ish. Yeah. So it's called in Japanese Hoshio o Kodomo. So that's quite an interesting one to watch if you haven't. Because kalau kita tengok video yang I played earlier on when we were talking about Makoto Shinkai Sekilas Pandang tu kan, there was one scene from an earlier film yang ada macam an airship which looked like something from Final Fantasy / Hayao Miyazaki. So, you know, like Nausicaa sikit. There was the only fantastical direct fantasy film yang macam ke Miyazakian sikit, but I can't remember which one that was. He's able to do other stuff. I mean, and early on I was saying another person of his level was Hosoda Mamoru, and thus far his stories have been quite varied. Like Bell was like almost like bukan isekai, tapi it was in a world where we've got augmented reality, and that was fantastic. Fantastic look at a world that had that first technology. And then there was the girl who leapt through time was basically a time traveling story revolving a girl in school, which was quite fantastic. So it's like another one was Summer Wars. Yang ada rabbit tu kan, yang ada rabbit punya. I can't remember, but it was fantastic. Summer Wars was good. The Boy and the Beast. So diorang ni sama angkatan lah, tapi of course Hosoda's film are different. Tapi Hosoda ni dia macam bukanlah maverick, tapi dia dulu unlike Shinkai ni macam dia punya perjalanannya dalam career dia nampak quite linear. This other guy, he actually I can't remember what he went. He went to college learning. He did design or whatever it was. Then he worked for an anime company and did other anime as well. So he's had experience in the anime industry traditionally, macam buat TV ke apa. And then he liked Hayao Miyazaki stuff. He applied. This is how I got the story right. He applied to Studio Ghibli. He got rejected, but Miyazaki sent the rejection letter with very promising words lah. To him, because he's such a talent. But at the end of the day, he came back to do a Miyazaki film. He was actually asked to do, I might be wrong, I think it was The Wind Rises, but when he did it, I can't remember, okay, don't quote me on the film, need to look it up, but when he did it, dia orang cakap, this was the guy, he's a good director, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure he can do something along the vein what Ghibli would want. But he said, no, I'm not doing it this way. I want to do it this way. Because I see it like this. And then creative difference, so they had to let him go. So guys in the chat, look it up on the net, see what was that film that Mamoru Hosoda. So basically, hari tu, I don't think whether this is related to that incident or not. Because when Bell had a fantastic standing ovation at, I can't remember if it was Venice or whether it was in Cannes. I think it was in Cannes. I'm not trying to confuse this with Brendan Fraser, but he had a very long standing ovation as well. And then there was one comment in the interviews. He was kind of dissing, if I remember correctly, Miyazaki. So, but that aside, I mean, there's not many lah that I can remember names of orang level Hosoda dan Shinkai currently in films. Somebody in the comment has mentioned something. Oh, okay. Yes, girl lompet lapet lip time. Yes, that's me, right? Yeah. We mentioned that. Yes, you are right. Category. The film that's done by Hosoda. But yeah, so we've arrived at the end now of our discussion, and Jamal, you are greatly missed, but I'm sure you had other attending. You had other more important things to attend to, so I hope everything is alright. So, but kita dah tiba ke penghujung sesi ni. So pada penonton di rumah, harap anda terhibur dengan ulasan kami untuk filem SUZUME no TOJIMARI oleh Shinkai Makoto, dan kami berharap untuk sesi yang akan datang, hopefully next week. Today is Saturday. Oh, that reminds me, I need to go to Kino, man, sebelum habis.
Today is Saturday.
Today Saturday, yeah.
Sampai Monday kan sale tu.
Monday, bukan Sunday.
Sorry, Sunday. Sampai Sunday.
That's the thing. So anyway,
esok dengan lusa.
sorry, kami sebagai peminat
yeah. Behave. Another one.
I am behaving. Oh, there's a different cat.
Yeah, this one I don't know. It's maybe this is the Sadaijin because his head was a huge head. Kepala besar.
So we are hoping to do this hopefully next week bersama panelists yang include Munif Malik dan juga Andrea Wee on the first few episodes of Hell's Paradise or Jigokuraku, which is currently being shown on Netflix, sebuah manga seinen berdarah hasil studio MAPPA yang seem to actually kan masa aku tengok the last episode
MAPPA kesian lah MAPPA.
Tak, tapi kan aku bukannya trying to take MAPPA down, tapi it's like it was quite obvious lah, mulut sengit semua. Aku macam okay, I'm sure they're doing we'll make it nicer in the Blu-ray but it doesn't detract from the story lah. Tapi but anyway we'll talk about that when we do
staff MAPPA tak balik raya weh.
Tak balik raya ada bonus. So tarikh dan masa untuk sesi live stream Hell's Paradise bakal diumumkan melalui laman Facebook dan YouTube kami seperti biasa. So nantikan. Pada anda yang baru ke sesi kami, jangan lupa untuk berlanggan, berkongsi dan tenyeh butang like untuk kedua laman YouTube STOMACHOFCHAOS.com dan BuzzPopTV, laman pop culture suka ramai Malaysia, supaya anda tidak ketinggalan untuk sesi kami yang akan datang. Dan jika anda ingin menonton sesi-sesi kami yang lain sebelum ini, selain dari arcade kami yang mengandungi sesi ulasan stream yang penuh seperti ini, laman YouTube STOMACHOFCHAOS juga mengandungi video-video ringkas yang mengambil tema spesifik dari perbincangan kami yang lampau. So, terima kasih kerana sudi bersama kami, dan kepada rakan panelis saya malam ini, Otsukare sama Deshita, kepada Myra dan juga kepada Nazir Khan dan saya Kudo Maharizo. Ijo desu. Mata ato de. Good night guys.
Oyasumi.
Yasumi.